gentlemen, and thank you very much there, Kirklin. Welcome to the GeekVerse podcast, episode 551. I am the hashtag Save Hannibal, Travis Snell.
I am the Spider King, Kirklin Patzer.
I'm the Parkcaster, Dylan Musk.
I'm the Ogre of Ogres, Taylor Field.
Oh, it's good for you to join us and everything like that. This bastard you can see because we went live before I hit the video and stuff like that. Like we're all getting in here and everything. Taylor's the only one late, so that's fine.
I know
That's
we were
Taylor's
starting
late.
at 7.
We talked about that. I literally messaged you yesterday.
You replied with a GIF, which
Yeah.
means you acknowledge it and approve.
Yeah, so you're dead to rights. And what does this guy do? Oh, he just puts on his camera and then an empty chair. Just an empty chair. It's like to say, oh, I'm there.
The GV Classic.
Yeah, so no, I wasn't waiting for that. But yes, we are at the 551st episode. It's going to be a fun week. Me and Dylan just did a side quest, which was tons of fun. Lots of good feedback on that, people. Different types of feedback.
A lot of Donkey Kong fans out there.
I'm happy. Yep.
Good to see.
I'm happy about that. I'm going to be happy about because one more sleep and then Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. I don't care if the movie's 46% on Rotten Tomatoes. I am excited and ready to go. And I think
46 more than 0, baby.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's going to be a fun review. And so look out for that. So as we said before, Mando, me and Taylor are going to do, well, Kirkland maybe, but let's be honest.
It's not looking good there, boys.
Yeah. We're going to do a classic midnight review because Mario is tomorrow, so that's why we just didn't want to cram those together. So it'll be that, Mario, and then at some point, I think on the Friday, me and Taylor will be doing some Star Wars Celebration stuff, and then I think if Kirkland can join, great, but if not, Kirkland and Taylor will be covering the rest of it on the Tuesday, so we'll look into that because of Easter and everything, and lots of good stuff. Taylor, where can they find us? What were you sipping on over there? What were you eating? What is
It's
it?
dinner time. 7 o'clock is dinner time in the Field household. I got some pot stickers. They lived up to their name. I got a little Caesar salad in front of me.
They lived up to their name.
They stuck
it's
to
pretty-
the pot.
Oh,
Yeah.
they fucking
did?
stuck. Holy shit. That
Were they
was
just destroyed by the end of it?
Yeah, they're just shredded up.
Oh, I didn't know that. Tonight's the Bryce Dallas Howard
It is. It's rumored to be a
episode.
44 episode minute.
44
episode.
episodes.
Oh my
Fuck.
God.
44
to
minute
call
long
in
episode.
tomorrow.
I'm not staying in.
Yeah.
I'm not staying up, boys.
Sorry, I can't make it in.
Yeah, Howard tonight. It's going to be a good time. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, find us with your internet connection in the search bar. GeekVerse.ca is our home base. GeekVerseCast our Twitter. And GeekVerse is our Facebook.
I'm just trying to see that if it was a 44, I'd say 40 minutes is the average of episode of Mandalorian times that by 40 divide by an hour. That's 29 days. That's a whole day, day and 4 hours worth
what
of
is this?
Mando.
What is
If you got a
mathematical
44 episodes. So if tonight was a 44 episode drop, it'd be a full day and 4 hours. That's
I'd
a lot
take
of time.
No.
Season 2 Mando, I would.
Mando.
Season 3 Mando, not so much. But head down, links down below. Everything you need to know is there. Podcast network, the separate feeds, our Patreon, which we will be recording. You got that banner. We're gonna be recording something because apparently this banner was just.
Oh, you're not
sitting
supposed to
around here.
spoil that. That was for the other thing.
Well, you put it in too early. I put
it
you
in
want
the other room.
You want? Well, no, the banners stay the same. If you want to know what this banner is about, video listeners, we'll be recording. You know how much I
not
did
the
that after the
Patreon.
S-Bubs
movie?
knows the quote. S-Bubs knows what we're talking
Oh
about.
yeah, I would do that to Emily all the time. She'd be like, "Stop it! I don't like that. Stop it." But we will be recording our Evil Dead 2013 retrospective tonight. So patrons will begin a week and a half early, and then soon there'll be Evil Dead Rise coming out and Beau is Afraid, which there's no tickets at all still on sale. Did you get any, Dylan, for Evil Dead or Beau yet?
Found nothing of the sort. Got
Was
nothing.
Yeah.
Evil Dead on sale?
I will.
You said-
Jesus.
You know what? We don't.
You said just the Beau is Afraid's not on sale yet. You
He's
didn't
not
say
even
Evil Dead.
listening. He's not even listening. I
Eat your
said
pot
Evil
stickers.
Dead.
Eat your Caesar
yeah.
salad.
Yeah. I said Evil Dead Rise and Beau is Afraid. I can get Rhinefeld tickets. I can get Fast and Furious tickets, which are fucking the end of May, but I can't get
Yeah,
Beau's
exactly.
Afraid or Evil Dead.
It's concerning. I gotta say, where are these fucking tickets?
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm sure we're gonna get them. I guarantee just with both of them, we're gonna get some shitty times. I have a gut feeling it's gonna be Thursday 9:55. I guarantee. Which in that case, the review will not be that same night. And especially because it's the back-to-back day, so we'll figure it out. But it's good stuff. Head over to Patreon, support us there. Get ad-free early episodes. Soon you'll be getting more X-Men. That'll be fun, like I said, Evil Dead. And then after Evil Dead, we'll be doing Indiana Jones, which should be a good one as well. And Yeah, you
cracking
could
the
use
whip.
that gif a
Bring the
lot.
whip
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you very much for supporting us. Thank you to Patreon producers Aaron Braden, April Darkness, Jack Grant, and Joshua Wright for being up there. Like I said, Jack Grant will be doing Office Space soon. That'll be fun. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else. We'll get into it because as the lords, the geek gods would have it, we're like, hey, we're doing Evil Dead Retro on Tuesday, and there's just gonna be a couple trailers coming out. Because at one point it was just Blue Beetle and Spyro. It's like, okay, that's a quick 30, 40 minutes and stuff like that. But then boom, 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 news, other trailers, stuff like that. So we're going to break them all down. We got to open up with one question here that was from Patreon Clay. Has nothing to do with the topics, and I'm going to quickly answer it because I don't know if you guys can, but if you can, that'd be great. He said, have enough of the GV crew members seen Heat to dedicate a topic to it? No. Heat 2 and Heat 2 and everyone's thoughts on the plot, the shift, the time shifts, the film, novel, etc. So I don't think any of you guys have seen Heat, right?
I'm heatless over here.
I
Yeah.
only know the reference from the Dane Cook skit.
Oh,
Where's
yeah.
the van?
Ultimate heist movie. If Heat 2 happens, which it looks like, we will retro that movie. I promise you. It's my favorite heist movie. It's
When
probably
did it
my
come out?
98
Okay.
or something like that, like maybe around
gotcha.
there. But it's Pacino's a cop, De Niro's a criminal, young Val Kilmer in there. He has the great flowing locks and stuff like that, and a lot of other great actors. It's just to me the best heist movie. But yeah, they're doing a Heat 2. This is what I want to ask you guys, because you guys can't really put much on the Heat 2 stuff, because what happens is they wrote a book and it's kind of like a prequel sequel where there's flashbacks, but then there's also progressing the story. So there's rumor going around right now that Adam Driver's attached to it, and he's going to be playing a young Robert De Niro. Does anyone see him as a young Robert De Niro? Because I sure don't. At one point, he was rumored for young Al Pacino. So I think technically I prefer him as De Niro because I don't see that. But I think both guys, it's a weird fit. Especially, I'm gonna look when De Niro did Heat and how old Driver is now, because I worry it's like that Han Solo thing where it's like we've seen them so close to an age. Not that it's an iconic character, but I just think it's a weird thing, and I do think the director Michael Mann, fantastic, legendary director, just wants to use Adam Driver. You know.
I see him more
I
as
just,
Pacino, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. I don't
That
know.
actually-
Maybe because
I
he's
could see
played
that
an
too.
Italian before in the past, and I just consider Al Pacino Italian.
95.
I just Googled Adam Driver with short hair, and I can actually see it with short hair because I
Okay.
can never picture De Niro with long hair. That just doesn't. I don't have a concept of what that would be like, and I don't think I want to either. But Adam Driver with short hair from a certain angle, I could see it. I think it's fine.
So De Niro was 52, and Adam Driver currently
It's like 45 or something.
I
don't
bet
know.
so. Yeah. So again, so he's
7 years
39.
difference.
He's 39.
Okay.
So
I
not,
was gonna say
not
45. Holy fuck! that's an old Adam Driver.
but yeah,
Not
no,
that 45's old. Not that 45's old.
No, it's old. When you're 40, it's over. It's over when you hit 40. Your
There
whole
goes all
life's
of our
behind you.
40-year-old fans. Thanks for Travis.
No, it's just a scary thing. I'm turning 30 this year, so I see those numbers ticking down and stuff like that, right? But yeah, no. So we'll probably talk about that more. I don't know if there needs to be one. I'm not like the entire internet, which we'll get into our topics. I was just so annoyed this week because Heat 2 got announced, there's Shrek 5, which we're going to talk about, Harry Potter series, and just so many of just Hollywood just doesn't make original movies anymore. I just want people to shut the fuck up for years and
Go
years.
see
Just
Bo's
like,
Afraid, everyone.
Go see Bo's Afraid. Like, go see
Nobody's
all these
seeing it. That's
things.
the issue. They,
Yeah,
they don't see
yeah.
original movies.
It's just like, and like, there's movies like Everything Everywhere All at Once that just came out last year and made lots of money, but still, like, there's more original stuff than there is out there. I challenge anyone, please, first, one, to shut the fuck up, and two, don't see these movies. If you go, oh, they just make big IP movies anymore. Don't see them ever, never see them again if that's all they make. But you won't. You know why? You're gonna be at fucking Mario tomorrow going Yahoo, and that's fine. I support that, but I'm just so sick and tired of no original movies. Like, there's so many original movies. Like we talked about last year at Northman. Northman doesn't make that much money. Why? Because no one goes to see it, And I know that might be the greater point, but it's just like I'm just so annoyed with this every year. They're out there,
Did you have a personal dilemma crisis today with someone?
No, not at all. I just was. That was my. I think I was.
Woke up to Emily. Fuck these
It was
people.
no. It's just on my lunch break yesterday where I was scrolling. I'm just like
Emily's
oh.
like, feet too? What the fuck is that about?
Yeah. Well, no. This is the honest how it happened. Is like so people know with Twitter. There's like the for you section, right, and the following section.
Yeah,
but the
for
annoying
you is a dangerous place to play in for sure.
it is. But no, what's annoying is there's multiple accounts that I follow that are not like big accounts. They're just like random other friends or YouTubers, podcasters, stuff like that I want to see their tweets, and they just never pop up in the following section at all. So I have to go almost to the for you to see it all, and that's where you get like the recommended tweets, and that's where I just got. So someone on my timeline, one or two, must have liked the whole no original movie, so I got bombarded with those, and it's just like, and it's never been a thing. That's where credit, this movie didn't do the greatest, but credit to the Shazam director. He had a good tweet of like 20 years ago, it was in the theaters, Jaws 3, Bond 13, like it was all sequels. So it's like, it's always been that way. And we're still getting original movies. I just don't, it's just a weird, like,
yeah, you got to look a bit harder for the original stuff. Well, not even necessarily, but yeah, I mean, it's obviously, if something is familiar to you, you're going to just recognize it more easily than the opposite. So
yeah,
I'm on your page there. That's a weird take.
Yeah, that was my mini rant. It's just it ebbs and flows. Those are they're always gonna be the biggest movies, but some break out and stuff like that. So that's all I have to say. Kirklin Patzer, you want to pull up? We're gonna start with Spider-Verse. You want to start with the Spider-Verse trailer?
I would love
you're gonna
to pull up the Spider-Verse trailer.
The Spider King.
While you
himself.
pull it up,
Do some finger clicks.
what are you smiling at over there, Taylor Field?
Oh, I just love how Kirkland's like, I'd love to pull it up. So
Okay,
finger
good.
clicks
Yeah.
and stuff.
Good thumbnail tonight, Taylor. I really enjoyed that thumbnail.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh,
Underselling himself.
Could have been better. Always
Did you have too much director insight on what you should be doing here? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
I literally sent him a photo and said, "You're using this image."
I like that
That's-
Shrek image. That's something else.
He can do
That was the
whatever he wants with the
limit of my
sides.
creative control.
With the sides, he can go as wild as possible. With the main image,
You
I
are
never want to
saying
see.
that.
I never want to. No, because I can crop those out. No, I never want to see Pattinson with the mask ever again, or anything like that ever again, unless I get. Because here's the thing: before we used to have like the thumbnails would be in the drive, so I could look and be like, "Hey, could you change this?" Or maybe I was thinking this, but now they're in there like. At time to go live or like the next day, so it's like now it's like Taylor's moving around scarily and whatnot. But Kirklin,
Play my cards.
you brought it up.
Moving
Don't bring
around
it up yet. What did you just think of the trailer? Because obviously we had that first trailer a few months ago, but that was more just kind of like I say very teaser trailer. Like I think half of it was the first movie, so there wasn't really much to go on and stuff like that. So what did you think of this one? This is definitely more a story trailer. We're seeing lots of the characters that we've heard about. You're kind of getting the pitch of what the idea of the plot of the movie is.
Yeah, absolutely. I really liked the teaser that we got last time, but this trailer really got me pumped. I am so excited to just jump back in this universe, and we got some scenes that we had already seen before of like I think they called it the. What was it, like the hub where all the spider people were at that one point? I remember seeing that in the teaser. And it's just like, oh my god, this is amazing. There's so many spider people in here that I don't even know about, and I just can't wait to meet them. And then here again, like kind of going a little bit deeper in that direction, like actually seeing more spider people on there. It got me so jazzed, and the music was kicking, and it was just I was totally vibing with this trailer. I'm very excited to just interact with our villain and just see his motivation, and I all in all, I'm so pumped after watching this trailer. Slight spoiler: this is my favorite trailer we're going to be talking about today. Ooh, I'm
just
showing
wait
my
till the
cards
end.
early,
Couldn't just wait
boys.
till the
I
end.
know. I had to. It just had me so pumped.
Yeah, whatever. These people are just like, come
God,
on, now.
really throwing around your power over
You're
here.
next, Dylan. Be careful.
I'll have to be on my best behavior.
So happy I'm not editing this one.
Literally, this thing. I'll ask her at the end what their favorite trailer is. Kirkland, first person I asked. Favorite trailer? Spider-Verse. I guess ask him what his worst trailer is at the end, But I think I know. Dylan, Dylan Musk, what do you think of this one?
This is my third favorite trailer of the night. And no, I thought it was really good. I almost feel like this was actually the most understandable of the trailers so far, and I feel like I do have a better idea of what's actually going to go on in the story. But I still feel like there's so much going on that my brain can't conceive of it all. There's certain scenes and characters that it'll probably just be a little cameo or like little fun moments with all these other different Spider-Man that we're going to see. But I'm still like trying to wrap my head around all of it. But in terms of this general plot between, I guess Miles and then is it 2099? Is that the guy? Yeah.
Miguel
So
O'Hara.
yeah, I think that dynamic there seems pretty interesting, and I'm into it. And that's a Spider-Man that I don't really know anything about too. So I'm excited to see that. I think the biggest hype thing for me in here was seeing the Spot. Seeing what the Spot looks like in this world is really cool. Not what I was expecting, but it's goofy and. Actually, you know what? That is kind of what I expect. I guess the exact look is not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the goofiness of it is very fitting for what is a weird Spider-Man villain. So, yeah, I'm definitely getting more excited for this thing now. I think the previous trailers haven't necessarily done it for me, but this was probably the best one so far in terms of getting that excitement up. And it makes sense to put out the bigger ones, the better ones, as we're getting closer and closer to the actual release of it.
Oh yeah. Plus, again, these are all going to be attached to Mario. These are all like, I feel like this Blue Beetle, like they're younger, teen, family centric.
Sure, yeah.
You know, Hypnotic, big family movie. So
huge, yeah.
has to do with kids. So, Taylor Field.
Yeah, this was very pleasant actually to get a lot more of the story concept kind of unraveled here, and just to see more of the hub and the worlds that we're going to be tackling. Because I had a totally different notion of okay, Miles Morales just going to be accidentally sucked into this realm, I guess, or this like hub station. I didn't think okay, like he was brought here intentionally and all this stuff, and all these Spider-Men are telling him like, no, you can't be a part of this group or whatnot. You don't have what it takes or something like that. So to see him and what his motives are, because the Spider-Men are like, yeah, you can't join unless like you lose someone, is how I kind of feel like how I interpret it.
Just like Church.
And he's
One for a million,
just like
classic
Church,
trait.
one
Yeah,
for a
one-
million.
one
But
f-
he's like,
Sure, one
I'm
for
gonna
a minute.
save everyone and prove you guys wrong. And then they're all like, no. It just felt weird. It felt like the Spider-Men are all like, we don't want you to save everyone, so we're gonna come down on you. But again, there were a couple other cool things. I like that this is technically MCU related to a degree, which is kind of fun. So yeah, I'm excited again, like you, Dylan, to learn more about this 2099 Spider-Man. What was his name? Miguel
O'Hara.
I'm excited to learn a little bit more about him because I don't know anything about him. I remember he was on the Shattered Dimensions, I think, game
Yes,
cover
he
back in
was.
the day.
Well, he was a playable character.
He was, and wasn't he in Web? Was he in Web of Shadows, or is that not?
I don't know if he made it to the sequel or not. I can't remember if he did, because I know one of the first games was Spider-Man, him, and then Spider-Man Noir, and then he might have made it to the sequel. Actually, I think they just dropped Spider-Man Noir, so I think he was in a couple games and stuff like that. So
Cool.
he's in the end credit for Spider-Verse and stuff like that.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah, much more comedic.
I
Yeah,
have
no,
not
it's,
rewatched that movie in a long time. I gotta
No?
do that.
gotta
Recommend.
buckle up.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that, Kirkland?
Is that a recommend?
Oh, recommend.
What do you think I said?
Bring it in.
Reprimanded.
I mean, I did bring it in. I have seen it. It's just been a bit.
Yeah,
Thank you for the
I was. Yeah. I just didn't know what bring it in. I'm like, oh, what
Bring
term
it in,
are
Dylan.
these kids? What term are these kids
He's
using
got a sports game
nowadays?
coming up. He's getting into all those little
Yeah.
one-offs.
Yeah, no, I thought this was a great trailer. It's funny, S-Bubs talked about like he said there's something missing with the trailers for me. The editing, pacing is just kind of strange. I thought that with the first one, I don't think that's so much with this one. I'm enjoying what I got here. It's more dramatic than I was expecting, because I feel like the first Spider-Verse, like for the first movie, the trailers weren't that dramatic, just to like have a fun time with all these wacky characters, you know? So the fact that I feel like they're making, I'm sure he'll have like a good guy babyface turn, but I feel like they're making Miguel O'Hara like really kind of not villainous, just very aggressive and a bit more serious. And Oscar Isaac, great guy to have do that. So yeah, it's one of these. I thought the trailer to me was pretty much a home run, and now I think there's always a level of excitement in Spider-Verse because that first one, but I think this officially like turned it up the notch. Like it hit the foot on the gas. It brought it, So now I'm ready. Now I'm anticipating it, and it's June, I think, again. Yeah, it's June. I'm pretty sure, because I'm confusing all these dates because they're all pretty close together. But Yeah, it's not that far away, really. It's about 2 months, and I'm very excited to see just what they do here. And again, it's also a good thing just knowing that we have that third one already coming next year. You know, like it's in the bank, it's going to happen. So
Wow,
it's
I totally
interesting.
forgot about that. That's good.
Yeah, they made it back to back. It's interesting in the UK. Apparently, their trailer had Toby, Andrew, and Tom, as I forget that one, as like the opening of just like scenes from their movies talking about different Spider-Man. So I was curious we didn't get that here, but.
What's with the it coming out a year later? That's really weird. The more I'm thinking about that, is it like because they're not advertising this as like a part 1, part 2 situation?
Mm.
I thought they were, weren't they?
Well, I've watched every trailer and I have not got that vibe.
Well, they're not-
Across
they've-
the Spider-Verse Part
they've-
1 and 2 when they were announced. Like,
Is it?
Well,
Is it?
because they announced both the movies back to back.
They did. They've changed the title now to Beyond the Spider-Verse for the third
Oh.
one. So I
Is
think
part
they're-
1? Part 1's not in this. Does it say part 1?
No, it doesn't.
I thought it
So
did
at one-
initially, though.
It was kind of like originally Infinity War and Endgame.
I feel like if
were-
I didn't know that, it's probably a pretty big failing on their part in terms of marketing that. I don't know. I feel
I
like
think
I should be someone who knows that kind of thing. What about for like more casual people?
Well, I
Or
think
does
they're
that
going to
matter? I
market
don't
it
know.
within. I don't think so. Yeah, I think they're going to market it within the film. I think you're going to get like a. I think there's going to be a cliffhanger-ish type of ending. And I
But if
feel like
people
you're-
don't know that that's coming and they're expecting it to be one whole movie, could that not sit poorly with people?
I think not if they kind of do. My theories are going to do it chapter. Well, I guess just it one. That right when remember when you got that credit sequence and then it was it and it was like chapter one. I think when the movie ends, they're going to do something like that. Like right away when the movie ends, it's going to be like this leads right into Beyond the Spider-Verse or something like that. So
Do you
it
mean
is
like the general audience? Because I feel like a lot of people, like my parents, for example, they went into Infinity War, like, oh my God, there's another one, an Endgame that'll be coming out, like in that kind of context.
They have no idea. Probably some of the GA still doesn't even know there's a Spider-Verse 2 coming out until they go see Mario. To be honest, right? Like it's I don't think there's been that much marketing for it. Like it is still a smaller scale movie and stuff like that. So I think at the end they'll make it very clear of that first one that there'll be a second one. I think there'll be a cliffhanger. I think there'll be something alluding to there being another movie already made, and I think there's even probably going to be an end credit that's like teasing the next character. I don't know what that could be. I don't think you pull out the big guns for the other three Spider-Man yet, but I guess you could because I think the rumor is they're all in the next one. So like the 3 live action ones, and we get a mention to Tom Holland in this trailer. So that's the thing where I don't know how they'll do it, but I think at the end they'll make it very clear you got one coming out next year. But yeah, they don't promote that too much yet. It's kind of like the same way Avengers Infinity War at one point was part 1 and part 2, but then they changed those titles and stuff. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's a bold strategy. We'll see if it pays off for them. I'm excited.
I'm happy they did it because I don't know if it would. I don't know how much it would work with this. Like
Yeah.
I'm curious.
I just can't think of like many other animated movies that have ever like done that, filming back to back thing, right? That makes more sense for a live action sense. So it is just kind of bizarre in the first place. But I mean, I'm into it. Okay, cool. Another Spider-Verse movie's coming next year. Sweet.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's anything like that, but I don't know. It's nothing that really comes to mind that had like a direct sequel or anything like that. Like obviously, I think shows with seasons do that, but that's a little bit different because they're spaced apart as a TV show.
Yeah.
So I think it is kind of a new thing. We've seen that with movies like Pirates and Matrix and Lord of the Rings, but yeah.
So
So
were they ever
they're
like
pulling off.
working on a next Toy Story while like working on
No.
like a Toy Story?
Because
What was the distance from like those releases?
Toy Story 1 came out in 95, and then I'm pretty sure 2 came out in 99. I think there's
wow.
there's
Okay.
5, yeah, what
Much
is that,
longer than I
4
thought.
years? And then 3 came out 2010, and then the other one came out like in
Yeah, that's fair.
podcast time. So it's been like a minimum of 4 years in between each of them and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
There
and
you
now we
go.
got Toy Story 5 on the way, which there's a big gap there. So yeah, Kirk and play with that shit. Play up. Pull
I'll
pull
play it
and
up.
play it.
I'll play it up. It's awesome. Go see this movie.
Yeah, we're
Alright, new
just free.
trailer.
And get those CCs on there just in case,
New trailer starts now.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a goofy way to start it.
It's apparently something to do with studies that they've shown that people watch the trailers more if they do that. You got the closed captioning on there, Kirkland?
No, it's unavailable.
Oh, what? It's unavailable?
Read
Okay,
that in
well,
the bottom corner.
then I'm just going to get you the positive. You can stay here and stuff like that. But yeah, no, apparently there's been studies that, like, for retention, if you show people that and then the new trailer starts now, people watch it more because it isn't, like, they don't swipe away because they see action right away and they're like, what's this and stuff. But
Yeah, the cold open for sure. But it's funny to be like, the trailer's about to start in like a 2-minute video. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I really think our attention span is that. I guess it is probably pretty bad. So
yeah.
it makes sense.
I was gonna say I was curious about how much the parents are gonna be in this, because with the first film, obviously the whole thing's in New York, where I feel like Miles obviously is gonna go somewhere else. I'm not sure if it's gonna end up back in New York. I don't know, sure if he's gonna get lost. But either way, so far everything that they've shown with the parents and Miles, that's my favorite thing of Spider-Man. Is Spider-Man doing the crime thing, doing the hero thing, but trying to get a job, get his schoolwork done, stuff like that. So I like this whole beginning with the opening, and I think by time, whether it's this film or the next film, they will know his identity. I think maybe even as soon as this one, because I feel like already just even in the teaser trailer, they're like, he's hiding something. So I feel like that's alluding to the audience, like, hey, they're going to be asking a bunch of questions, but I'm liking all the parent stuff so far, so that's all I want to say.
I completely agree. I think it'll be either this movie or the next one. I'm curious just how like sad and dour like the ending of this first one is, if it's leading to the next one, like if Miles is really in peril and maybe his parents don't know because they're just like concerned for him or something. So that's one route I could go, or one route I could see it going. But
You
like
writing
I
this
said,
film?
Travis,
You can tell us something?
yeah, I got big secrets. So yeah, and then to your point with like the inclusion of the parents, I love their dynamic in the first movie, which had me really hopeful that we'd be getting not like more, but maybe like equivalent amount from that first movie of them, because I just really like the dynamic between Miles and his parents, and I just really like that whole circle that he goes through of like just by the end of it he's a lot closer with his parents. So that was cool to see on screen, and I loved all the comedic points of Miles and his family, and already in this trailer like they were just making me laugh with some of those scenes that were going on. I am worried it is going to be maybe not too much, because he is going to be in a more spider realm than where his parents usually are, but still they're great, and I liked what they're doing in this trailer.
Yeah, so Espo's brought up that there was a teaser, and the teaser ended with Across the Spider-Verse and showed part 1, which is still interesting because the sequel is not Across the Spider-Verse part 2, it's Across the Spider-Verse, or it's Beyond the Spider-Verse.
It's beyond.
So it's just gonna be weird if it's Beyond the Spider-Verse part 2, you know. But I guess
It's just part 1. It's like
Yeah,
Beyond part 1 as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I suppose we knew that 4 was in 2019. Toy Story was 2019. Geez. So yeah, that was 9 years in between. There you go. So, yeah, I think it's coming up. I like at one point when she's talking and she snaps and they give them like the sound bites. Obviously, again, that's very similar to the first one, but I like all that. So, go ahead, unless someone needs to stop him. There's a spot.
There he is.
Yeah, so pause right there.
Look at that body shape, man.
Yeah.
That is something else.
My boy's looking like the Slender Man kind of sometimes with a suit and everything, but I really liked this gimmick with the Brad. I thought it was good. I was kind of surprised. I was happy they showed him. I was kind of surprised how little he was in this, because he is the main villain of this movie, and I'm not saying he needs like a big showcase or something, but I thought he'd be in the trailer more, but it was kind of this, and then he was in the sky, and that was about it. But I think the Spot is perfect. I'm excited there's going to be just more people in the world and kids that know who the Spot is, and especially for like portals and multiverse stuff, he's a perfect villain. And I like the look. It kind of reminds me a little of Peter B. Parker, the way like Peter B. Parker is like a little out of shape. Like he's just like a little, a little more puffy sometimes. He's not like a super jack like the animated show, Dylan. Like the guy was a scientist, but still when he had that skin tight suit on, like he was a ripped scientist, where this is just like a dude maybe, and if he's a scientist that might work. He might not be in the gym because he's doing these great things. So he looks great.
Yeah, totally agree.
So this is just a suit. That's not actually his skin that has like these portals on it.
Well, who knows what they're doing in this universe? Maybe it is what he looks like.
There's something like it makes a suit, but it's very kind of like almost like I'd almost say kind of type of symbiote. But at times I feel like the suit has just kind of like morphed with his body. So this could just be him. Could you live like that, Taylor? Looking like that?
Well, he looks pretty comfortable. So I mean, if he's doing it, I could.
Go ahead.
I also love the look. I love how like otherworldly. That was easy for me to say. Otherworldly he looks.
Yes. It looks like it's going to be maybe, I don't know, just some crime-fighting villain. I hope we get a couple of those, too, of Miles just fighting some other random, smaller-tailed
the
villains.
joke with B in Spanish, that was great.
Yeah. That's a good one.
And his mom just like curses him out in Spanish. Reminds me of when I was in French, and my French mom was cursing me out when my French grades weren't fantastic.
Hate to see it. It's not, yeah. And yeah, that's like the last time you see the Spot and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's cool. When the mom snaps, it's the colors of the Puerto Rico flag. See,
Oh,
these
Great
movies,
attention to
man,
detail.
they got so much. Like, it's a good thing they got so much time on their hand. And then yeah, we start getting introduced to some of the characters. So there's a
I
Spider
love
Woman.
the shades.
Yeah,
Oh.
she's gonna be pregnant in this movie. That does happen to Spider Woman. So she's a
Ooh.
pregnant Spider Woman in this movie. But yeah, the whole look and everything. I'm digging it.
Oh yeah, me too. She's
Looks
on a
great.
bike too. That's so
Mhm.
it's so badass.
She's pregnant in this frame, then, right?
Yeah, that's her belly right
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Are you trying?
we
Are you
go.
trying to say she's not pregnant, so someone else?
I
is
wasn't
trying
sure
to
if
maybe-
it was like throughout the film she becomes pregnant or something.
Yeah, the movie takes place over 9 months, and you
Yeah.
see the whole process.
It's a drama. They're like, Miles, you got someone pregnant. You have to have responsibility for this and everything like that. So
I love just like there was the other shot, but this one specifically was just like the black and white Spider-Man. Oh, it
Mhm.
looks so sick.
yeah, and there's so much to like. There's just
It's like
so
the
many.
the Iron Spider back
Yeah.
there, like the comic book accurate one.
This is one of those classic. I'm excited for YouTube after this movie once they get the DVD
Yeah.
copies. And they can just break it all down.
It's
you know?
great when you pause just any shot of this thing. It's crazy how it just does not look like an animated movie. It's really
Mm.
impressive.
Yeah, it looks like concept art, especially
Yeah.
just like the background and everything.
In a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way.
In a good way,
Yeah.
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 I love concept art.
I feel like MCU's Green Goblin are if he were to be put into that hub and see all that, he'd just like implode. Just like
Oh yeah. And then obviously pause here before. There's been a big fun debate because he referred Miguel Herrera. He referred to No Way Home of the nerd with Doctor Strange and Earth like 1999, which is funny because in the comic books that's what they said the MCU was. Like, it was like 19999, and then in the MCU they went no, we're the 616, and now you got the Sonyverse again trying to say it's not the 616, it's the 1999, and then if you go see it is again, Marvel's not gonna care because they're just gonna like ignore it and stuff like that. But yeah, it's fun. Again, it's Sony home movie, right? They can refer to No Way Home. They own the movie and stuff. But it's fun that we got that, and I think it's fun just even hearing Doctor Strange in a separate movie
Yeah.
like this. And like I said, I think you'll be seeing those characters. I don't know if you'll get to refer to that event if that's what they're going to use it for, but yeah.
That line like confused me because I knew that in the MCU it's 616, but then I was like, oh, he's talking about No Way Home, but then he dropped like 19999. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, you lost me. I don't know what this guy's talking about.
that must be part of like a legal arrangement of some kind, just to reference Doctor Strange because they don't own him. That was obviously the mutual agreement through No Way Home. So I imagine.
But
that
you can
through that
still mention
deal-
Doctor Strange.
Are you allowed
think.
to in your own?
Well,
movie?
like other movies like make joke about like a Batman, right? I think there's some sort of rules and stuff like that. But I feel like they're not going to get mad at them for. I feel like they'll let them say Doctor Strange. I don't think that
Can't you shit talking our IP there?
that ends the next deal. They're like, we didn't give you permission to say Doctor Strange, and it's 616, by the way. And then they don't get any more deals. No more
But
Tom
you can't
Holland.
say
in the MCU.
616.
Yeah, that's our thing. So yeah, like Espop says, remember they referenced Doctor Strange in the Raimi movies. So I think that's just like almost like a parody sort of fault. Like how many movies make fun of like a Batman or a Star Wars or something like that, right? Like I don't know if they got to get that cleared every time. So. And then you got Peter B. Parker, which is good because I think in the teaser they only just showed him for like a second. So I'm liking that he's in here, and I think that he's good because my worry is he was going to be on the back burner for this movie and come back maybe for part 3, but it looks like he's going to be here for, I'd say, like a supporting character. Obviously, he has Mayday and stuff now. So, but yeah, my kid's got a big kick out of this, and it's been fun to see this character because there's like a very rocky road with the Spider-Man fans in this character because they gave Peter Mayday and MJ got married, and they very quickly took that away. And Spider-Man fans are very mad at Marvel writers all the time because they'll never just let Peter have a family. There always has to be some reason, like people's memory losing, MJ dies and stuff. So the Mayday fans were very happy about this. So.
I'm so excited to see this character. It's just like what was the Incredibles child, Jack?
Jack, yeah.
Yeah, one of those, but the spider version, so that's lots of fun. And with Peter B. Parker, I'm so happy to see him. I love that character from the first movie, but part of me is like, I kind of wanted a little bit more time for his return, just because I love that departure so. Like, it's such a heavy emotional like goodbye to that character in that moment. But he's got a family now, so he has been busy. But still, part of me was a little bit I don't even want to say like uneasy or irked. It was just like, oh, we got him this early.
And I guess
Might
like,
change by the time the movie comes out.
well, I was gonna say at least one thing that I think they are probably gonna at least try to signify. There's definitely been some time passage because like this kid is not like a baby. This kid is it's like a toddler. So I feel like that's like at least 2 years. So obviously for us, it's still movie to movie. But I think in the actual timeline, we wouldn't have seen him for a while because this kid gets a full set of hair, and you can't trust little gingers. They're always getting in tons of trouble. So yeah.
Speaking from experience.
Yep. Go ahead. Look at that. Just well, I guess some of it's also you pausing, but yeah, I love the look of Miguel. He just, I don't know, they just draw him to look intimidating. Now pause there too. I'm very curious what that image is, and I'm not sure because it looks like he has like a Spider-Man type of top, right? Or am I just seeing things like that? Looks, yeah. Now, because like obviously that's the whole thing, right? In Gwen's version, Peter Parker becomes the Lizard, and they're just friends, and that's her Uncle Ben that she loses her best friend, which would have turned into her boyfriend Peter Parker. But like that doesn't look like that Peter because they showed that in the first movie.
Yeah.
So at first I was like, oh, we're gonna get more of that backstory, which I think is always a fun one. But he's in. He almost looks like Peter B. Parker with the sweats and stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I like missed this too on my first viewing. I feel like this is the first time I've seen it because this immediately Peter B. Parker vibes just from the sweatpants. I really hope he doesn't just kick it in that movie. And
Oh man,
still,
that's
I
why
feel
he's
like,
back.
but I feel like the moment between him and another character would be him and Miles, like to have that final goodbye if they did want to send off the character. Like Spider-Gwen and Peter B. Parker did have like moments in the first movie, but really I feel like the connection is mostly for kind of the father figure, or I guess Uncle Ben type character that Peter B. Parker kind of was for Miles.
This
There's
definitely
no-
seems like a flashback or a dream sequence to me. Just getting that
okay.
vibe.
Yeah, that could be like a dream of showing other Spider-Man around the world dying or stuff like that.
Yeah, like maybe in one of their adventures they just happen upon this too. I guess that could be it. This is like some other random guy. This doesn't look like B. Parker to me.
Yeah, he's a little scared. And yeah, I suppose I didn't see that, but I've seen people saying rip blue shirt in case he's covered in blood. I doubt for the kids movie all that red is blood. Like I feel like it
All
looks like
over
a
his
shirt.
arm.
But yeah, like he's looking like Evil Dead 2013 over here.
That's the ending with the rain and everything.
Come down here, Aunt May. But anyways, go ahead, continue.
Okay, continuing.
Yeah, there's another shot I want to point out after, but yeah, very emotional. But yeah, that's a good call, Dylan. It could just be some sort of hypothesis. Then,
Because I mean, if it was a big emotional beat and someone actually was dying of value, they wouldn't show that in the trailer.
no, I don't think so.
They know people pick these things apart frame by frame. So
Yeah, and then you got the dad falling, which is never a good thing in Spider-Man
Just
world.
trying to see who this character was. It's really cool. Kind of blinking.
Yeah.
Like there's multiple of her.
I don't know who
Sweet.
that is. That's where my
Yeah,
knowledge is
who is
running
that?
past. And then there's
He's looking like Morbius over there.
Yeah, he looks like Werewolf by Night almost too. Like, yeah, I love the hair, I love everything, and then yeah, this is them obviously explaining that you got to lose somebody, which is it's kind of interesting too because it's just like I want to see how they frame it because he lost his uncle, right? They talk about Uncle Ben, but it's like that was the whole point in the first one. He did lose Prowler, and they had a big relationship, him and Dave. So like that's what I'm wondering what they mean by he has to lose another one. So I'm sure it will make sense in the movie. But at first when I heard it, I was like, what are you laughing at there?
I think you're totally right. I think it's bullshit. It's like some horrible initiation. Like, sorry, no, yeah, he doesn't count. He was a villain.
That wasn't good enough.
It has to be someone without powers.
Yeah, it has to be someone pure-hearted.
You choose, mom or dad.
It's mom, dad, or it's Peter B. Parker's kid. Don't make me kill the baby. Miguel, this
He's like, don't make me the bad guy. I'm the good
yeah.
guy.
You see that Peter? He's covered in blood. I will do that to this baby. Like he's just like when we get the rating for this movie, it's just an R, and everyone's like, really? Spider-Verse an R? And then you see the movie, Miguel Harrow's like Anton Chigurh, just like destroying people. But love the look of 2099. He just the hair is flowing, everything. Yeah, we're very lucky. Oscar Isaac is still third character in the Marvel universe. So.
I agree.
keep going.
And then this one, there's a pause coming up here soon. Oh, so they make that so fast. If you did you go backwards? No, never mind. I had a moment there.
You're confusing me.
We couldn't pause it because they make it go so fast, but people have slowed it down, and it's him seeing Gwen fall from a building, and anytime Gwen falls, not a
Doesn't end
good
well.
thing. No, it doesn't end well for Gwen Stacy's that fall, and it looks like that happened. So
Well, that fall, I was even getting like vibes from seeing his father fall earlier on in the
Yeah.
trailer too, because he falls a similar way. We got
back.
Ben Riley too.
You gotta go back. But yeah, and I also just love go back to the as far as the train sequence
Thought
too.
these were turtles for a second. I'm like TMNT crossover.
Yeah, go back to the train. I just love that scene right there of just 2099 just clawing through. Like I like that because I feel like that's one of the biggest things we said about the first one of how actually scary they made Prowler, and that's what I think they're gonna do with Miguel O'Hara again, and which is gonna be interesting because he's a Spider-Man, right? But yeah, like look at him right there. That's looking intimidating. I don't know what train they're on. Hey, maybe this is the train that Peter Parker and it's Doctor Strange are fighting on. But no, I get a feeling they're gonna knock a home run again with this villain. So that's a good job.
And for like how wild and visually just wild the finale was of the first movie, like I think this one is gonna match that, if not pass it.
Plus just thousands of Spider-Man that you can't keep track of. Your brain just like, oh yeah, he's jacked too.
Oh,
and I just
gotta
love
pause that then, right? Hey, this is like the
It looks like the Spider-Man.
PlayStation comic book version. Yeah,
It looks like that shell shaded one, and then you got the actual PlayStation one right there beside him and stuff
that's
like
cool.
that. So
I love that.
yeah. And
just want
then
to get Ben Riley here.
I don't know if you'll be able to get the boy Ben
It's quick.
Riley, but
Oh,
it's so look at that art style, man. That's
it's
so,
so
good.
good.
So everyone knows that's my favorite Spider-Man. I got like a heart on a special place in my heart.
My
for him,
heart's
but
on.
it's interesting because he's on. They've made like game boards and stuff like that where he's in them. So I'm very curious. What his role is because he's on a lot of merchandise, but he's been barely in any of these trailers. He's been in poster. This is the first trailer he's in. So I'm almost wondering if they're going to use him as like a bridge to the next movie and he's like starts here, but maybe his bigger roles in the next one. Or maybe they're just marketing him because they know people like the look and it's a different Spider-Man. But I don't know if it's something new because, he is a clone. So I'm not sure if clones are going to play into this at all. But I am curious of why we haven't seen much of him. But just, I love this art style. It looks like it's a different type of shell shade. It almost just looks like noir. It reminds me of this reminds me of like 90s comic book panels and stuff, like a Spawn. Like when you're pulling it up, teasing Clone Miles in part 3. I don't know what it would be, but that's where I'm very curious of. He's on a lot of merch, but he hasn't been shown much. But I can't wait. I'm going to be rocking that. I got a reason to wear my tank top and stuff like that.
What is it about the Spider-Man that just puts him at the number one for you?
Like, okay, obviously I still have like, I'd always say like Peter Parker's my number one, but as far as like the variants.
Cop out answer.
Yeah, you got him, Taylor.
I know, but like as far as the variants and stuff like that, I think one, it's always this kid where it starts. The costume's fucking sick. Like the way that it's this jacket, cut up with the hoodie and everything like that. He has the wrist bands. He has like some leg belts and stuff like that. What I like is he's a clone that for a good portion of his first life thinks that he's actually Peter Parker, and then that the real Peter Parker is a fake and a phony and stuff like that. So he has this huge complex of you're like imagine just like one of you waking up tomorrow and finding out actually you've been the clone this entire time. You're not the real one. Yeah. So I always love that. I like the look, the dichotomy. I love that it's Peter Parker with like the short beach blonde hair and everything like that. But yeah, that costume, man, like look at that. Look at those eyes. And so that's what I love. I love the backstory. I love how weird it is. I'm somebody that the Clone Saga is a very touchy subject in Spider-Man world. Either you love it and hate it. I loved it because I like clones, so I was all bored.
You like clones? It's the first time hearing about this.
I like clones.
Got a
I don't
few
know if I like
movies.
clone
Were you in
troopers.
Clone Wars?
I watched it all,
The just the art style reminds me of Ultimate Spider-Man back on like
Yeah,
GameCube
it
or whatever
does,
the hell
yeah.
it was. Just great game.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm excited. Just even the way I was gonna say even the way he moves, but I forgot Kirklin's doing that shit with the slow. I'm like, look at him go and stuff. But yeah, fun little scene here and stuff. So yeah. Anything else on
Spider
Spider-Verse?
Horse. Look at that thing.
Oh,
wow.
I've
man.
never seen that thing before.
That's crazy.
Spider Horse. That's cool. It's gonna be
I
fun.
cannot wait for this movie.
It's gonna be a good time. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Anything else?
No, sir.
Stoked.
Stoked. There you go. We're gonna take our first ad break. We'll be right back with some Blue Beetle because I am very excited to talk to you guys. We'll be right back. And we're back. So we'll probably pull it up in a second because there's not too much you need to pause and talk about there. But I want to get everyone's opinions first. Phil, I want to know. This movie's coming in August. We don't know where it's placed because James Gunn kind of says like hinted that it could be a part of the new DC. It pretty much just sounds like they're keeping this movie as separate as possible from the old DC stuff, and if it happens to be a hit, maybe this character will transition over, because obviously it doesn't have the baggage of the other characters, and just them saying like Batman is a fascist, which, oh my god, I know it's online, but people getting worked up over that. It's just like, it's just a joke.
Really worked up.
Yeah, it's just a joke that George Lopez says in a trailer. Calm down, and there's parts of him that probably are. But anyways, like the thing is, like I think whatever happens with this character really depends what happens in August in the box office. So Taylor Field, you don't know much about this character. What do you feel of this first impression?
My first impression is it's like Shazam. I'm not gonna lie. I like Shazam too, though.
Yeah?
So I mean, there's that. Take that as you will.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I probably will like this a lot. But it still had that aesthetic and those tendencies and the humor. I really like George Lopez, and I feel like whenever he's in something like this, like I feel like, okay, you're gonna get that kind of humor that again is very reminiscent of the humor we got in Shazam. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But I'm still excited because I don't know anything about this character. I did a little peruse online and thought, okay, alien tech slaps on him,
up your
and
alley.
he gets I'm all about the suits, the iron suits. So
What is that movie? Remember we talked about one time randomly on a cast when it was a boy, and like this alien thing comes down and
Brahms?
takes him over.
Brahms
not
the boy,
not
too?
Brahms the boy. Yeah. No, remember? And
I do remember. I don't remember what it's called,
we
though.
pulled
I
up
tried-
images for it too.
It was like Space Fighter or something like that. And it was a movie that I saw. I'll try and find it.
Yeah.
And it's like probably a dog shit movie, but it's the same premise of like he gets in an alien body. But I'll find it.
Well, I feel like there's a lot of those like early mid 2000s Teletoon shows where the kid in school gets that alien power and he was a superhero kind of thing. It's just, it fits with that. So I'm eager to see this. I think visually it looks fantastic. I was trying to differentiate where he's not really like a Green Lantern, but he is a Green Lantern with the powers and stuff.
He's a Blue Beetle, Taylor.
He's Blue Beetle, but he can will anything he wants, like Cloud's sword, all that kind of stuff. But
I think
he's got
there's
the
still
same
like
powers.
I think there's still like a limit. It's within the suit and stuff like that. I don't know if he can like make himself an airplane. I could be wrong because I know
Star
Blue
Kid?
Beetle, but it is Star Kid. Thank you so much, Hansi. It's just about to pull it up now. I don't know if I can screen share two things, but man, this thing is just it was a wild movie. But yeah, Star Kid got a piece of
the
cinema
blueprint
here.
for Blue Beetle.
Where's the Chrome tag? Okay. Yeah, because I think we've seen this exact image on the podcast before.
Yeah, I've seen that helmet.
So what
Fucking
happens?
terrifying. That is like a horror movie.
He
I'll-
kind of
I'll-
looks like fucking Jet Jaguar a little bit, I think, with that.
Yeah,
Jaguar, there you
it's just
go.
a little chunky.
So this is it lands and like he finds it, and this is he's in the suit, and I'm pretty sure they have almost like a Robert Downey Iron Man type of in-camera suit thing. But yeah, he like
That's the one we pulled
this-
up on the podcast because that's what I remember.
Yeah, and this alien tech takes over his body, and he becomes some sort of
Is it a black and white movie?
no.
1997.
Yeah, they spent all the budget on the suit, so they couldn't afford color anymore. But I remember having the VHS of Star Kid.
What a cover image too. Holy shit.
All of them too.
Whoa.
Any language is like him, the split face and stuff like that. Oh, look at the
Whoa!
menu.
Look at him in
Oh,
the
yeah.
background.
Garbage can.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It
So I
looks
predict
a lot
it's
less scary.
going to be better than Star Kid at least. 5.3. It's still a pass. So
pretty
not
good.
too
More
bad.
than Mario.
Yeah. Eat that, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, Dilmas. What
Yeah, I mean, I'll follow it up because my thought watching this trailer was like, oh, this giving me Shazam vibes here too. And yeah, I think it's just because, wow, this looked incredibly generic, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you just love comic book movies and these tropes and stuff like that, then cool. This is a new one. It's a character you haven't heard of. Suit looks great. Like I think that
Yeah,
part's
he
definitely
looks
a highlight
cool,
for me. But yeah, in terms of just the story and the kind of humor and just this person who is given these powers and doesn't know what to do with them, and you get that 15-minute sequence when they're like, about to die because this suit's doing its own thing. It just feels like something I've seen many times before. So I think this pretty much squandered any interest I had in this thing. I don't know. It seems maybe a bit too kiddie for me. I don't know. There was nothing really in here that grabbed me in any way. I'm not a big George Lopez guy like Taylor Field here. I don't even know who that is, to be honest. So I don't know if there's much for this one. This is the kind of thing where everyone sees it and they love it, then I'll check it out when it hits a streaming service before Golden Geeks. That's kind of where I'm at with this one, I think.
See, it's funny. You pose a good question there, Summer Hansy. She says it's still just mind-boggling that they're going to release this and not Batgirl. I think that, like, now here's the thing. I'm cutting before you, Kirkland. I'm sorry. Here's the thing. I think they've said before. They've said, and Josh Wright agrees with that. Yeah. Actually, just come back tomorrow. You'll do your own. Kirkland told you, but no, if you put out a Batgirl movie, I said this about Shazam, and I guess I would say this about this. I think Batgirl will be more successful. Now, if you believe them, they were kind of saying like, well, Batgirl was made for HBO Max, so it was probably like less budget, like more TV movie, like Disney Plus-ish kind of style filmmaking, right? Where this could be like a movie, even though this was originally also made for HBO Max. And I feel like there's at times where it feels like that. Not so much the suit. I think the suit looks great. I think those visuals, like when he pulls out that sword, I'm like, this all looks great. Like I saw a few people after, I guess, bugging on the CGI. I'm like, no, actually, like I feel like there's so many trailers we get where the CGI is meh in the trailer, but you hope it'll be better. But I feel like the suit looks good, everything. I feel this, at least the two reasons is, one, it could be cinematic. Two, I think what they are hoping for is this to be like a big hit with the Hispanic community. Like, I feel like they're trying to position this as like Black Panther, Shang-Chi, and this for the Hispanic community, Blue Beetle, right? And it's interesting, and it's funny you said that, Dylan, because I was talking about this Fanboy Clay a couple days ago in our chat, where that's where I am, where I like superhero movies, because he's like, he did this example of like, Travis says he likes superhero movies, and then, oh, another superhero project. But it's like, to me, it's not so much me, because I'm saying the same thing as Taylor. I saw Shazam 2. I liked it enough. I passed it. I enjoy my time. But I say, like, if you're not a fan of the superhero genre, you don't need to check this out. I do think this is like a little more interesting than the Shazam trailers, at least as far as, I don't know, just the hero aspect. I think I just will like, I like the idea of Blue Beetle better, right? Of this young kid who gets these superpowers. But it's something we've seen a bunch of times.
I don't know, man. When
right?
they're coming out with that dialogue and they're like, there's a world-ending monster that's coming through, I'm like, Jesus Christ,
that's the problem.
we're really doing that here.
And I know people are going to say, what do you mean? That's Shazam, kid who gets powers. I mean like an actual kid who has to deal with the suit, not I'm a kid and then I'm Zachary Levi. Like, and I still like Zachary Levi enough in the role. I think it's just... I honestly was surprised, my timeline, and even talking to you guys, like all my fears of kind of that wave. Like, I feel like I've seen a lot of people just like, I'll pass on this one, and that does suck. Cause yeah, there you go. Espo's first live action Latino superhero. I imagine for like a leading box office. I know it's happened in TV shows as far as being a part of like the Arrowverse and stuff. And you know, in Family Clay, he brought that up. He's like, oh, people are saying it's like CW. I don't see anything like it. And it's like, oh no, I watched many years of CW and I see it. And I what I don't want, and what's tired me of Shazam, I hate that his family's like going to be part of this journey. I hate the idea of there's the ship and all his family's there and it's the team aspect. I guess I'm just kind of done with that. I'm done with the Team Blue Beetle, Team Flash, Team Arrow. And I think it does work for some characters, but when I see them, like, all right, and George Lopez is giving the same, like, you know, he's giving with great responsibility speech, you know, like great power, you know, comes a great task, whatever. And I love George Lopez. I'm like Taylor. I watch fucking every episode of the George Lopez show.
I love that show.
I fucking love that show. So don't come at me with like, oh, you don't like George Lopez. No, I do. But my example was, I like gravy. I like ice cream. I don't like them together. And that's where I feel like George Lopez in this movie.
What's the gravy? What's the ice cream in this analogy?
Vanilla. So not even a dark. Yeah,
That's
vanilla.
not the answer he was looking for.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Vanilla ice, Dylan. Clearly,
Oh,
that's
okay.
who he was
No,
talking about.
The ice cream's the
Vanilla.
movie.
You said it was so much grit. Like that was your dying word. Vanilla.
The movie is the ice cream, and George Lopez is the gravy, where the whole movie's going to be consistent, but then you're going to get this gravy where like, oh, yeah. And I just don't know, like that moment when he's like, like, I don't know if I need George Lopez doing this stuff. And guess what? I would say he's a bigger star. Don't know what he is, but he's a star at least.
I've heard the
And
name, yeah.
they get him there to do his stuff, to do his shtick. So I get it. I'm not saying George Lopez to become like fucking Michael Fassbender and be serious and stuff like that. No, they paid George Lopez to do what he does. I just think they shouldn't have gone that route. And I think, unfortunately, maybe there's a chance because people show all these videos like, oh, it's doing better than the Shazam trailer and Black Adam trailer and even better than the James Gunn Slate reveal and stuff like that. Sure. But there also was a time where the 50 Shades trailer was the biggest trailer in the world, bigger than Avengers. Was that $1 billion movie? No. A trailer versus what the actual success is doesn't mean anything. I like the trailer. I think there's some action shots in here that actually look really cool. I think the action in the suit, I think the suit stuff is all going to be like thumbs up of, oh, this is really cool. It's my worry of like outside the stuff of we've seen this many times and we've talked about this. Check out our Patreon special. It's just, for me, and like what Dylan said, for me, I'll check out all these because I like the genre, so I'll probably like it enough. But for now, the mainstream audience, I don't know if people see this and go, I got to go out Friday night and see this. I feel like people see this, go, I might be interested. I'll wait for HBO Max. Like that's my worry. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the second trailer will be a banger as well. Maybe the reviews will come out and just be great. So, and I'm pulling for it because I'd rather comic book films not bomb because then that lessens the chance of the genre surviving. But I think this one was, I would say, like above average, where Shazam to me was average, even below average. And there's been other ones, but it just looked like, okay, we've seen these beats many times. The only thing that looks different is the suit. And I think the suit looks great, the idea of the alien tech, but even like the first teaser was just like he wants to be a kid, but he's forced to be a hero. It's just like, okay, we've done this stuff, you know? So we'll see. Kirklin Patzer, you got permission to speak now.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Good speech. I hear a lot what you guys are saying, and I definitely see it. I feel like I'm
Be on
not
this review with me. Yes.
I think so. I think watching this trailer, I was
one.
more in the positive regard, and it's funny the Shazam comparisons because I definitely see them now. I actually haven't even seen the first Shazam, so maybe that's it. Like maybe I'm
Or
not
the
like
second.
I haven't seen either of the Shazams, but when I have seen the trailers and the first trailer
Like
for
Blue Beetle,
Shazam,
right?
like way back when that was like right on my mind, I was still just kind of bland on that one. Where watching this trailer, I think there was enough in here that it won me over. I'm not fighting people to to get first in line at this movie, but I still think this is whoa, Blue Beetle Travis popping in. I still think I still think the like the humor was working enough for me, and just like the suit up aspect got me really, really pumped. And it's probably because the suit really did look phenomenal. And I think all of the shots of him just like using it looked really, really good. And maybe I'm easy enough that's enough to get me my butt in the chair at the theater to see this. Because yeah, I definitely want to check this out. I think also like something in the back of my mind is I just really want to know more about a character like this, and if there's like other Blue Beetles or whatever like. There you go. I want to see that explained more in the movie, and hopefully I get that revealed on a follow-up project or whatnot, or just where he winds up in the greater DC universe. Because I think this trailer did it worked enough for me for sure. But you guys make some great points of just this is very, very much hitting the same beats that we've hit before, and I think those people that are like, oh, the only movie that's coming out now is comic book movies. Like, yeah, no, definitely do not see this, because if you've seen,
those people that be in the cast,
if you've seen one, you've like kind of see them all. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if I'd go all that way in that argument, but
no.
There was aspects of this trailer too that reminded me of like Iron Man, like the first Iron Man when he's suiting up and all that stuff. There's aspects in here that reminded me of Green Lantern. I remember really liking the trailer for Green Lantern 1, and I think I liked the movie the first time I watched it. Definitely not on the second time, but I'm excited to see this one.
When Espo brings this up, and that's the thing about I talk about like the community and why this maybe would have got past, is he'll be interested to see how the GA in South Florida has such a large Latino population. I do know a lot of Cobra Kai fans too, and that's the same thing. I don't know the guy, but I know he's like a main character or something in Cobra Kai, so you got that going for you. And that's one of the biggest things is there's a statistic in America that like I think it might be the most, I don't know, but it's something like Hispanic movie going viewers is like takes up like a lot of the box office a lot of times and stuff like that. So that's why I think they are releasing this, because they're trying to tap into that market. Just a question of will it tap in with everybody else, you know? So We'll see.
I just want to get S-Bubs like on the streets of
Mhm,
South
get a
Florida,
microphone in
just
the
like
hand.
microphone in hand, interviewing people, getting their takes.
You seen
Beetle?
Blue
What the
Beetle?
fuck's that?
What the fuck's Blue Beetle? Yeah.
Get the fuck away from me.
All right, there's nothing much I have to say. There's like a few pauses and whatnot, but yeah, it's gonna. That's what I'm gonna be interested just to see how
Hobby
it does.
vibes.
Whoa, he did the fast one on this one, so. Let's see. Josh Wright says, "Oh, I'm also from South Florida and half Hispanic. Are you gonna be seeing it? Like, and yeah, I don't know.
Are you
It comes out.
excited? I'm curious.
Yeah. Are you? And it's coming out in August, so you know it is a bit of a quieter month and stuff. So hopefully, and maybe this guy will be charming. It must be something interesting to know, like to get into the DCU. You know, like you're just gonna be sitting there watching those numbers. You know, you're just gonna be hoping that, like that must be pressure, right? Of like just sitting there and like this. The beard they give him, like
I'll get it back. Don't you worry.
yeah, like, and I'm not saying people don't have this type of hair. That's not it. It's just we know George Lopez is not usually rocking this type of hair.
They're
and
moving
stuff
away
like
from the fake wig thing. Now they're doing the fake beard.
He has a
thing.
fake wig thing in here too.
Yeah,
Taylor. You know?
actually, they're doubling down. Yeah.
He is everything. My man's
I
looking like the
never
wizard
saw
from
the beard.
Shazam
Yeah, I never saw
because it blends into
before.
his shirt.
I think that's what it was. I thought he just had like a simple goatee. Totally
And
blends with his shirt.
I get what they're going for, like the stoner. I think probably low key uncle. Cool, that's fine. Like we'll see. Maybe he'll be great. Maybe all that humor will hit and everything like that. So yeah, and then they open it up, and then she said, "Don't open this up." And then the Beetle comes.
The Beetle.
Yeah, I think it just stuff like that. When I think it likes me, it's just like, man, I feel like we've seen this.
This has a Miss Marvel kind of vibe, I'd say, right now.
100%, and that's not good for us. But you know, if people like see, it's just the
That looks
George-
extremely painful. Like this.
Yeah, it does.
Oof.
And great transformation. Burn the suit off and stuff like that. It looks fantastic. So again, and one thing that could happen, I'm not sure what kids movie is, with it being younger, I wonder if it could do what Shazam didn't, where it could find like a younger audience. You know, that's the thing I never felt Shazam really did, was the audience they were appealing for, like the younger teens. I don't think they gave a shit about Shazam. Maybe you could get that with Blue Beetle because he could be cool. Like I'm talking about like that almost like late elementary, middle school type of like age group as far as that. But again, there are so many heroes to choose from, so maybe it's different. So the suit turns him into the skeletons from Miss Marvel. Pause right there. I do not like that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does not. We all just yeah.
There's some
It just-
Spy Kids shit right here.
Oh, 100%.
Thank you. No, because
Please put on your 3D glasses now.
Taylor, when we review Blue Beetle, this is going to be the thumbnail. That image of George
His face.
Lopez. Yeah.
I love it.
But like, there's this, and later on when the kids are like, we got to stop, there's a big plan, and like the doors open and stuff, it's like the Ant-Man thing. It looks very Spy Kids again, where it's like, oh, and you got George Lopez. But yeah, I get what they're going for, but I didn't like the aesthetic of the, from In the Mask. So
Yeah.
Taylor, I got a screenshot ready. I'll send it your way.
good. Remember that for August. Oh man. But then, and then the suit just takes off. These poor people's home just demolished now too. So hopefully he's a good job. But cool stuff. Earth's looking like this. All looks good to me. Like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
for a movie that is not like about to come out in August, I think it looks really good. Like, and that means like in August it's gonna look even better. But yeah, very Iron Man-ish. They even do, I think, this kind of a joke in the first Shazam trailer too. So there you go, of like him almost hitting water right there. That set looks like a Spy Kid set right there that they're opening up. And I forgot. Pause right here, Kirkland. I forgot that the bus had people on left and right side. So when I saw this for the first time, I was like, "What is about to happen here?" But even though there's tons of people that do just stand,
Oh,
so
yeah.
he could have
A
murdered
couple
some
people died for sure in the
Yeah.
altercation.
just by blocking it. But I was so worried. I thought we were gonna get like an Invincible moment here for a second. But yeah,
Just blood everywhere.
go check out
Jeez.
Invincible, greatest Amazon show there is, I think. But yeah, go ahead. Suit looking good again, and like, the
I like
suit
his
again.
eyes too, actually.
Yeah,
Pretty
I like
cool.
how his mouth moves too when he talks. That's like fun. And again, and that's the stuff where I cut a bus in a half. It's like, okay,
This is very Matrix.
yes. And I like that. Looks cool. But if you look at lots of set stuff, that suit is mostly practical, and they add stuff to it after. But it was a practical suit, so
Nice.
I enjoy that because that's when I preferred Iron Man a lot too back in the early MCU when it was a practical CGI mix and stuff. This right here, this hallway scene,
Oh.
this looks fucking awesome. Anytime you get a superhero in dark and red lighting and he's flipping and kicking, this looks cool. I'm ready.
Especially
for
when
this.
he's like lit up. I just feel like there's a lot of
Yeah.
potential for some really beautiful shots. But yeah, I love the red hallway scene. Just like very Daredevil vibes.
And we didn't pause it, but there was a couple of moments ago in the trailer when it's just like the scarab is mine, but it belongs to me, but it shows you. She's gonna be the villain. That's Susan Sarandon, but she's related to Ted Kord, who was the original Blue Beetle. So they could in the future do like a very Ant-Man-ish thing of introducing, the original Blue Beetle and stuff like that. Yeah, here you go. About you got to figure out what you do with your gift and stuff. Yada yada yada. So, and this right here. This was the money shot. I was even not just the sword, just the way he moves his body around. I feel like Kirkland's very anime-ish. Like,
Oh,
I don't-
100%.
Like that just looked like I was watching that ripped way in a good way. So that's what I mean. I think the action this is going to deliver in the movie. And then you got again a base, and you got all the costumes of previous. If you go back, that's where you got other Blue Beetles and stuff like that. So I don't know in the movie if they're going to use. I don't know if they're going to use those as tester suits or they're actually going to find the original Blue Beetle costumes. But again, yeah, I think this is where people are talking about CW, where it's like they have a base, they're a bunch of young kids, and I guess you got George Lopez. So yeah, Batman's a fascist.
This scene feels very CW. Absolutely.
Yes, 100%. You guys think Batman's a fascist? Hot topic right now.
I have no opinion.
Next
Yeah, I'm
after
kind of
9.
opinionless on this one, unfortunately. Let's save it
Next
for
after
after
9.
9 for sure.
Yeah, everyone, we'll talk about it.
I'll
We'll
do
get
some
We'll,
research.
we'll have a debate.
Yeah, we'll make the thumbnail We'll make this the thumbnail of that after 9 too. This specifically with the closed caption. Make sure you screenshot that too, Kirkland.
Love the tube TVs, the tube monitors. Love it. Very nostalgic.
All right, there
Only
you
in
go.
cinemas.
17th.
August
Yep,
17th.
only in cinemas. What do you think makes them the difference of the movie theaters or the movies that preview only in theaters and only in cinemas? Like, what do you think they make that decision? What does it come down to?
Oh man, I've never noticed. I don't know. I couldn't name any movie, like which one they chose to do. I guess.
Well,
Does that
like
make sense?
Barbie coming up, there's one that says only in theaters July 21st, and this one says only in cinemas. Like, I wonder what the thinking is there, right?
There's
It's not a question that needs to be answered. Well,
wonder
that's
if
what I
it's
mean,
like
right?
is it like a U.S. like Canadian? Because
I
this
think it's
trailer
Z
was
and
like a
Z.
New Zealand trailer, right?
Oh, was it?
Well, it was like I think it might have been because that's the one I watched too. I think so. I don't know if that's a New Zealand thing.
It's got to be the ZZ paradox.
The ZZ paradox. Well, there you go. Well, let's take our second break, and then we'll be right back. Maybe Kirkland has an answer for us. And we're back. Kirkland.
Apparently, a cinema is a special type of theater that was designed for showing films. This means there's no stage space, so behind the screens for live performances. A theater space, however, has a stage space for live performances, so just like a platform. I'll have to look out for that.
So that
at my
means
local
all the
theater or
Barbie ones are
cinema.
only going to play in theaters
So
with theaters.
instead of the movie theater, it should just be called the movie cinema. Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a cinema. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Next up,
More you know.
Secret Invasion. I'll go first because I continue to say the same things, and you can bring this up, Kirkland, if you want. I don't have too much to say, like anything to point out. I think this is a show that's going to play a lot better than it does. And actually, most people were very excited by this, and I think because it has those Winter Soldier vibes, stuff like that. I just think this is a hard show to really market as far as like getting people really excited, and that's where what makes me more curious about this is you have Sam Jackson, big star, but I just don't know if this is a show that when people see the trailers, they're like, man, I can't wait for Secret Invasion. It helps because it's been a long time since She-Hulk, but and I don't know if it's going to create that water cooler stuff. So I think when I look at this, I go, it looks well made. I like all that they confirmed on Cheadle here. Like I think the actual episodes will be good. Maybe hopefully it could be almost like Andor-ish in that sort of way. It's more of a like Winter Soldier, like political thriller, and it's more about the characters and motivations. That's great. But as far as the trailer, it's just a lot of, people looking around, people, being suspicious. I'm gonna have to come after you. No, if I get you first, like shit like that, right? The only thing I kind of like, which could be an interesting almost con too against it, is Nick Fury being like, he doesn't want to use the Avengers. He doesn't want to call them. So that's why I'm interested. Is there an actual good reason, or is it just the whole like, well, we can't have them on TV? But I feel like with Nick Fury, there could be a good reason reason of why. Maybe he did some shady shit they don't want people to know about, which Nick Fury is a character that's kind of fine if he does that because he's already done shady stuff. So I think the show will be good. I am excited for it. I just don't think any of these trailers have absolutely blown me away. And like I said, though, that was where I was with Andor. For the most part, there was some stuff in Andor, like visually that looked great. But so yeah, I'm of course excited. It's a Marvel thing, but this isn't like making me do jumping jacks or anything like that. So
yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I think this increased my excitement by like 5% or something like that.
I agree.
Because I once again, I think it is a well-made trailer, but I think just everything what you said, like it just doesn't show. It's not as spicy to show on screen, and I think it's something like by like episode 3, I think I'm gonna be like really into it. I think I'll be really invested in what the plot is, the thriller element of it, kind of the mystery that's going on, and all that stuff, and be introduced to the new characters at that point. So I think I will be into it. We also saw, and maybe he was already confirmed, but I forget his name, but he like was him and Val or were married. What's that guy's name again?
Oh, Agent Ross.
I forget if I knew he was in this or not. I think
it was
just left my mind, but we got to see him. So I think when I see him, and when we see these other characters, and I see Rhodey and stuff like that, I feel like this will be a very fun show for the world building of it, because sometimes there are MCU, like even just a lot of the Disney Plus shows that feel like they kind of exist in a vacuum, and then there's like a post-credit scene that connects it to the greater thing, like Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, a couple examples. But I feel like this will be really like, I don't know, this will just add a lot of like texture to the world and what's going on in different parts, and we haven't really seen lately because we've just been preoccupied with like these huge journeys and other like introductions for characters. But I think this will be like a nice niche where it's something smaller scale, but it's not still like on that Avengers scale of like we're fighting world-ending people. And I think so. I think I'm going to be into it when I'm watching the show. But yeah, once again, these trailers aren't jumping it high up on my most anticipated list for MCU.
If there's some fucking Skrull bomb that's gonna destroy half of New York and stuff like that, I'm gonna check out so fast. Like that's what like
what
you're
half of New
describing.
York, that's what I'm wondering.
The bad half, I guess the good half. No, the good half. The good half. The fashion. But like that, I like what you said as far as like one. I like that it's kind of like the B character show where you're seeing all these characters that are like B level that have been around pop up and work together. So that's kind of fun. And that's the hope to me is, Skrulls can be big. Of course, they're taking over people. They can transform and shift. And you got the super Skrulls in here. The guys doing like the Venom tendril thing. So I hope it just stays like that as far as like a government sort of takeover thing and not we want the nuke codes to fuck you up. Like I really don't want, because that happened with Miss Marvel, that happened with Moon Knight, when that's what you think's gonna happen, and then it's like bigger. And maybe Miss Marvel not so much. It started to though, got very big, and even though skeleton people wanted to do some big stuff, like I hope they keep it. Same thing with Daredevil coming up. I hope they keep it to a secluded situation.
I forgot about that guy with you called it the Venom. I thought he was like Groot or something going on here with that attack he was doing. Obviously, he was not a tree person, but he had a tree person like arm. So,
but that's a super Skrull. They're very powerful and they can do different things and stuff. And apparently, there'll be multiples of them. And I guess we didn't say it here, but they did this in interviews where they confirmed that. God, what's Game of Thrones girl's name?
Emilia Clarke.
Emilia Clarke. She's Talos's daughter, so Ben Mendelsohn's daughter. So they confirmed that. So there you go. So, yeah. Taylor, are you excited to be secretly invaded?
I hope I will not be secretly invaded personally. But as far as invading the show, you can sign me up there.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, I feel like it was cool to kind of get a little bit more, I guess, context of what's going on. Just Nick Fury, he's got a job to do. He's got something he's got to get up to. But they were kind of like beating around the bush with that a little bit, so we don't fully know what he's trying to do. Yeah, he's just.
Just while you're talking, hey Chris Evans, how's it going on? But Kirklin just like a quick little I'm gonna wave.
I didn't want to impede Taylor's conversation, but here we are. 30 seconds.
We love when people pop in to say.
You impeded the conversation. It happened anyway, so you should have just.
And I did it more. I made attention to it, but if it's attention to listeners and fans, we're always happy about that. So
good.
No, Taylor, your time's up.
So...
Kirklin, what do you think?
Hit the mute button.
What was I going
Nick
with?
Fury.
You were saying they reveal. You were happy they were kind of showing what the plot is and stuff.
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah. I was happy that we're kind of getting a little bit more detail on the plot and the narrative and all that with Nick Fury, because he's definitely got his own objective he's up to. Always. And then I laughed on this part of the trailer, like where were the Avengers or something like that. I just feel like, well, is Nick Fury just hops on his phone just to call them? Like, man, where the fuck are they? Tony won't answer me. Captain won't answer me. You know, just maybe he's been so out of the loop.
That's what he has. But he can't call him Captain because there's Captain Marvel and him. So if he
What's
just had
that guy's
Captain on
name
his phone,
again? Captain.
Yeah.
something.
He always
Oh,
mixes
right.
up their numbers.
well, they did
Yeah.
say apparently that will play into his psyche that it does shake him that when he gets back, a lot of these people are gone, like Tony and stuff like that. So I feel like, and this is what is interesting because we have not had this answer, and I still don't. I'm not everyone else that hates, not everyone, but some people that hate on Phase 4. But one thing that I feel like they have been missing is like, we still don't know what the status is of the Avengers. And they're talking about the Avengers in this like they're still a unit. So is there a team, and maybe they want to, I know they probably want to say that, but it's just like, is there a team right now that is running currently? And like, because when they're like, oh, you won't call the Avengers, it's like, well, if there's no Avengers, who the fuck would he call? Like, they're disbanded now. But I think like that's insinuating there is a group of people that are together. And I just feel like, I don't know. For me personally, I'll always be kind of bummed if they just like formed off screen. Like if we get the new team of characters, it's like, yeah, one day we had a meeting and we're the Avengers now. It's like, I would kind of like, I know people might think it's copying, but I don't care. I'd kind of want like Avengers 2012 where an event brings characters together and they can bond together and be like, okay, we are the Avengers. But you know why it's not going to happen? It's because like in Avengers, we're going to Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. So there's not really time to put them together. So that's kind of annoying. So I guess, yeah, I feel like one day we're just going to get revealed. Yeah, this is the Avengers.
What if it's
Here
a
you go.
post-credit scene
Of this show?
of the
Okay.
new Avengers forming specifically? That.
But no, I mean like no, like it would be in this show or just any post credit.
Oh no, not this seems too soon. But
Okay,
that's
I'd be
how
a
they did
bit
it.
more down because it would be like a big one. So I could be sold on that, but I still am a little disappointed. I feel like it's like I feel like it's a big thing. I don't because that feels very government oriented too. Of just that was the whole thing, right? The
is that
Avengers
not
broke
what
away.
like Captain America 4 would that not be a plot point of that movie?
Yeah, that could
Involved
be
in?
it. Yeah, you're right. That could be it. There was, I think, at one point rumors in some storylines that Sam was going to be going around recruiting. So you know what? That could be. We've heard Hulk rumors and stuff. So yeah, maybe you're right. You got Thunderbolt Ross in there too. So
Mm-hmm.
I'd be down for Cap to be like a moment, but I don't think you're gonna like. Are you telling me Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, everyone's gonna be in that movie for a post?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess Captain Marvel. Well, she is. Yeah, she's in New York right now, right? I mean, I don't know.
She's in New York.
Well, I
yeah.
guess no. That movie will happen before Captain. Yeah, the Marvels will happen before Captain. So she'll probably go back up to space. So
But
she'll be aware.
maybe while she's in New York, they have the meeting of like, hey, you want to be Avenger, and that's all.
She
it
does a
takes.
Zoom call or something. She can't make it, but there's some
Mhm.
sort of meeting.
I do-
Interdimensional Zoom call.
I do agree with the man who has the same name as the previous Captain America. Yeah, it does sound less and less like a Cat movie. I'm excited
Well,
for it,
look
but
at
like,
Civil War. I mean, that wasn't really a Captain America movie either. They're
Yeah,
kind of just
so I feel
using
like-
that name for the name value at this point. Doesn't really
and I
have much
guess
meaning.
I guess the cheetahs, at least we did get Falcon or Soldier, so it's like if you
Yeah.
want to see some of Sam's journey, you do have that. But yeah, and especially these rumors of like adamantium's gonna be in Cap 4. It's like, okay, now it's setting up the X-Men, now it's all this stuff. So and we'll see, but.
Can you imagine if Nick Fury's he gets a lead like, oh, there's a group of Avengers. Okay, this is good. And he goes in, it's all the kids, all the young Avengers. Just like, oh, this isn't what
I would
wanted.
love that. That like to see him with like Kate Bishop, Kamala Khan, like that would actually that you know what you picture a good thing of you couldn't do it now. You'd have to do it like day one. But like yeah, Nick, while you're gone, we've gone a new team together. And when he gets
The
in there, and this,
unofficial Avengers kind of thing.
yeah, and the team is just like yeah, these young little fucking runts and everything like
We
that.
got a
Like,
Hulk
this-
over here. He looks and it's this
Yeah,
fucking Scar.
You really thinned out, Bruce.
Yeah. Who else could you pull? I'm trying to think of like other young people that you could pull. I don't know, but just even Kate Bishop to me, him and Nick Fury, and hopefully that's a joke that happens. But you can have Vision and Scarlet Witch's kids in there too. They're part of them and stuff. So
You have America
wow.
Chavez in there too.
American Child, yeah, another one.
great. Yep.
Yeah, he would just like you know that's a fun Disney Plus show right there. You know, so Kirk and Patzer.
Yeah, I really like this trailer. I really like the last one. I'm very much looking forward to the show. Actually, it very much reminds me of like the Andor promo, and I love that show. That is possibly my favorite Disney Plus content like ever. Like it is really really good, and I love this the tone of this trailer, and basically like continuing from the last trailer too, like it has this same tone, and it's just very cloak and dagger and ominous, and just there's some secrets out and about, and I like just the rough, grizzled looking Nick Fury, and I can't wait to follow Sam Jackson on this journey. I don't need any more trailers. Like I'm totally I didn't even need this one, but still, this, like you guys said, it boosted it up 5%. I think it's probably same for me, but I was already so high, so that's like a pretty good chunk there. But there's a couple moments too when like he's wearing this toque and like a nice shirt and then like a blazer or something, but he wears like the same thing but just different colors. Like he has like a purple toque on at one point, and then he has like a gray toque on. I just picture I picture him like a cartoon character. His whole closet is just like the same thing, just a couple different color tones here and there. But yeah, I think he looks great, and yeah, Sam Jackson doesn't disappoint. And I've loved all of his Nick performances up to this point. Nick Fury performances. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be disappointed. And with that being said, I really hope I'm not disappointed, because that would hurt a lot, because I really think this show is for me. I really am vibing with what they've showed so far.
Nice. Well, yeah, you guys talked about Last Weekly Geek, but yeah, June 21st, that's a confirmed date now, so it's exciting. We'll get Guardians, and then the month after that, and then it'll be quite a drought because Loki and Miss Marvel, or the Marvels, isn't coming out till the fall now, so they're in their full slowdown mode.
Well, I
but
guess
probably for the best.
Secret Invasion, 6 episodes.
I think
end
so.
of
Yeah.
June. So it'd probably take us into the first week of August, something like that.
Yeah, probably, as long as they don't do a double. Yeah, it'd probably take us. To
so
the
it's still a
first
bit
week
of a drought,
August.
but not too bad.
Yeah, no, not too bad. So, speaking of, I got no transition. I just want to talk about this trailer. We had all the comic stuff, right? Blue Beetle, everything. Yeah. Anyways, Kirklin, you can pull up this one because I have a few things just to pause on. But man, I've been waiting for this. I've been anticipating this. I don't know if it's my most anticipated movie. That comes out tomorrow. But after that, Greta Gerwig is going to.
You talking about Hypnotic?
You thought it was Hypnotic? You literally thought I was going to talk about Hypnotic as one of my most anticipated movies.
I thought you were going there too.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Do you know anything about me? You don't think I'm like. You think I'm more excited for Hypnotic over Barbie? No.
So we troll Travis,
damn.
ladies and gentlemen.
Get Barbie up here. But yeah, as I've said before, no matter who was cast, it's Greta Gerwig. I love Lady Bird. I loved Little Woman. It's a superior version. Sorry, Emily. It's a superior version. And then she doing Barbie, that's great. You got fucking Margot Robbie as Barbie. You got Ryan Gosling as Ken as our main ones. And we got a stacked cast. And this trailer, man, this is everything I wanted. It, like, what I love about this is they're doing the goofiness of Barbie, but there's a moment where when Kirkland plays trailer, when they're like having a beach scene, there's like a huge scale to it too. Like, it looks like there's like big set pieces where there's probably a combination of real and some CGI, but it doesn't just look like, okay, we're doing Barbie and the jokes, which the jokes for me were all hitting, so that's going to be obviously the most subjective part. But that's why I loved, like, the musical numbers. It looked like it just had a very big scale to it. So yeah, I am just fucking jonesing to see this movie. After Mario, this is probably my most anticipated. I'd have to like, I guess we got Mission Impossible coming out still, in Dune, so there is some good ones, but this is like, I'm so curious, and I think the trailers are doing a good job of, they're showing fun stuff, they're showing jokes that I feel like you see Michael Cera, you see this like beaching you off joke, which that worked for me. I don't care, that one worked for me. I feel like they're pitching in a good way of like a good couples movie in a way where you got the Barbie and the nostalgia, but you have some like humor that's a bit more racy. I don't think it's going to be rated R, but kind of that almost like Apatow crew type of humor and stuff. So yeah, this to me was a home run. But I also feel like they're not revealing the plot, which I don't think you need. And maybe I'm going to be wrong, but I think this movie's going to just make fucking bank. Like, I just think with all the stars and the look of it and the vibe of it, the music, I don't know. I cannot wait for this thing. Again, I can't wait for Oppenheimer. Nolan's my favorite director, but there's no way I'm seeing Oppenheimer first before this. I gotta see Barbie. So yeah, I've already loved the marketing, the posters, but now when we got this trailer, I was like, okay, I think they know what they're doing with this movie. So, Mr. Patzer.
Ooh, interesting. Me following here. I am very much excited for this movie. I did not love this trailer. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I've only seen it once, and I didn't want to like rewatch it because I wanted to just hold on to that feeling leading into this conversation here. Because yeah, I was very much looking forward to the trailer. I loved all the promo posters. I think it was just basically the one of like Margot in the car up until, or maybe we got a Ryan Gosling one. But nonetheless, not too much. But still, I just love this idea. Fantastic director. And yeah, I just think this is such a weird and interesting concept. I was just so curious, and I will be seeing this no matter what. But this trailer just, I don't even know what it was. I think I think I didn't know what to expect, and I got something that I did not expect, and I just am still kind of like head in the clouds, like expecting something else. I don't know. Maybe it's my own fault there for having my own preconceived expectations for what I was jumping into. But yeah, we got a plastic world and some plastic crew, so that's lots of fun.
Barbie Land.
I feel like Will Ferrell will be like the villain of the show. I don't
I
know.
think
That
so.
was
An
my initial
antagonist,
thought.
yeah.
Just like representing like the corporate world or something like that. Just taking advantage of Barbie or just other plastic characters. So yeah, I'm curious. This first trailer didn't blow me away, especially like I had watched it, I think, after the Discord was just going off, and it was like, holy shit, okay, super positive, and it looked good, like your point, Travis, with the set pieces on like the beach, like the scale, it definitely like felt like we were actually in this like plastic world for sure. But yeah, just I don't know, I think not all the humor worked for me. I didn't love the Goss in this trailer.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I had the
yeah.
exact opposite reaction. I thought he was killing it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so hopefully I come around for sure, because this is definitely a special project of just what they're able to accomplish, of having like Barbie and Ken just in these like real actors just portraying these like super plasticky type people. So I think it is gonna be fun. I hope for sure. But this trailer didn't blow me away. It's not a fail by any means. Like I would still pass it if I was rating trailers. We don't do that here, but if I had to, I would. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, Mr. Muss.
You can catch me at the theater for Oppenheimer. I will not be. I will not be going to this. I don't get it, man. Like for the last year, people have been talking about this movie, and I get it. Great director. I get it. The cast is pretty crazy, but I don't get it. I don't get where the interest is coming from. I see this trailer. Like nothing in it is funny, and I don't even know if it's supposed to be funny. You're saying you're laughing at it, so I think it's supposed to be funny. But I'm like, beat you off. Like you just say that 5 times, and that's like. It's supposed to elicit a
It's
laugh
good
out of
innocent
me.
humor. You know, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about.
I thought this was very weak, and I understand I'm very much like the outlier here, although Kirklin didn't really like it either. But yeah, I've not understood any of the hype for this thing leading into this at all. And this trailer left me just like, yeah, I do not care about this thing at all. I don't get it. I do feel like I'm missing something. I feel like there's something in my brain. There's some part of the brain I don't have that makes people interested for this thing, whatever that is. I don't have it. It doesn't exist in my body.
I think the humor they're trying to go for is almost like parody humor, where the characters are doing things that they don't know are dumb or funny, and obviously not funny for you. But like that's what I think they're going for, because obviously the beat you off thing, those characters aren't going to find it funny at all because they're not sexual, right? Like the same way when they do the whole joke, like, I'm going to come back to your place, and like, why would you? Like, oh, actually, I don't really know why, and stuff like that. And yeah, like Superman Mike says, they'll make a joke about maybe Ken's not having a penis and stuff like that, because I feel like they're already insinuating that with like him not knowing why he'd want to go back to their place. So that's what I feel like. It's going to be very top secret type of humor, and I guess or Naked Gun. That's another one too. Like I feel like those type of movies, not so much Scary Movie, that level of parody, but more dumb characters in a real world that don't know anything. Like I guess Bob says, yeah, we haven't seen any of the real world stuff, so I don't know how much of Barbie Land we're going to be in there, but you know, fair enough. Maybe I'm hoping it's great enough that come Golden Geeks time you might have to view it, but if it's not Golden Geek worthy, I'm not gonna make you watch or anything like that. So we'll see. But Taylor Field.
I mean, I think that this trailer was really, really just flamboyantly good in so many different ways.
You know what? Yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah, right there. Yeah, this is the best way to do the cast now.
I honestly like
less than half of what we hoped for.
When I was little, my sister had a big bin of Barbies, and so I'd break out the Ken doll. You know, this is before Bionicles were a thing. So my sister, yeah.
I also had a sister that had Barbies.
Oh yeah,
yes, I was there.
Big bin of Barbies. So again, am I super like well versed in the whole Barbie lore? No.
Yes.
My
He pulls out his black series. Yeah. Or his pink series, maybe it would be called.
Pink series. Oh, that'd be hype. They should do those pink series.
Plastic
toys.
series.
So again, I always really got a kick out of Barbie and Ken and Toy Story. I thought that was really, really funny there. So again, I think seeing them in live action, there's a lot of fun you can have with this. And I like the beat off thing worked for me because it's innocent
Beach.
humor.
Yes,
Beach off.
Was it beach off?
It was beach off, yeah, because he's like the
You
beach.
just
I heard-
come on,
I
that's the
heard.
whole joke.
No, I totally
That's-
heard beat off.
That's the whole joke, though, because
I'm gonna
Simeon
beat
Lee's
you
like, the beach is too much for you. Hey, oh no, I'll beat you. I'll beat you off any day. I'll beat you off first. Not if I beat you first, and I'll beat two guys. Oh yeah, it worked for me.
I just think that the generation that was kind of a part of that more so than this generation. I don't think that today's generation is necessarily really into Barbies. Unless, correct me if I'm wrong, Travis, if your daughters are rushing to get the Barbies. Are they really?
Because they still make Barbie movies, and like there's a big show on Netflix that's always trending. They watch it every new season. It's like Barbie. I'm not gonna say Dream House because I know that is, but it's Dream something. No, kids are still very much in the Barbies. You'll learn when you have a kid. You go to a toy store. There's like still 2 rows of just Barbies. Like that is like McDonald's. That brand is gonna be, I think, around till we're dead. It's just something. I just think it's just there. It's that princess thing, right? It's like the girl and like all the accessories and the house and everything like that. And with this Barbie show, it's not more about her. It's about her family. So it's like you got her multiple sisters, and her and Ken are just friends in this one. Like there's always a hint that there's a romance, but they don't go too far with it because that's what they've kind of done. But yeah, no, Barbie's still popping off and still popular. With the youngins, yeah. Kirklin, pull it up. There's not too much to say, but there's a few things I want to show up. But yeah, my biggest thing is like, I just can't wait to see Margot and Ryan together. That's just such a fun combo. I really like that. I love the fucking logo like that. You know, look at this. Pause right there. You got the Barbie land. That's a great image right there. You got Barbie land letters. You got the houses and stuff like that. Like I can't wait. The pink jet. I love the world building we're gonna get with what I think Red is doing. And this is something really different. You watch Lady Bird and Little Woman, she's never done something this big a scale before. There've been like character pieces and stuff like that. And that's why I think the movie will still be good on that level. But yeah, I love the shot of the world. I'm very curious of like how them getting into the real world and fake world works and stuff like that. But I like this nod there of her feet being like that. Like I like all this stuff. Yeah, like all these things. I like that they're making Gosling and Simu Lee have some sort of rivalry, but just the record, it looks so colorful. You know, we talk about so many movies nowadays when it's just so fucking dark and you don't see anything. I like that this movie is just so bright and in your face, and it's just like candy, you know? So
As
Watch
bright
like
as green
candy.
screen.
yeah, watch, they'll get to a real world and it'll just be fucking just super dark and everything. But yeah. These two's chemistry, I'm excited for that. There's more there. We're gonna get some musical numbers there, and because like that scene right there, go back there. That's where like I guess I was not. That's what made me excited. I was not expecting stuff like this in a Barbie movie, and it's just a little thing, but it's not anything you really had to do because I imagine the gimmick of the movie is Barbie's gonna end up in the real world, and that's the story. But you could really just jump to that and do that. So I'm excited for these numbers and stuff like that or whatever they are. So, and you got
Very
Simu Lee.
colorful.
Yeah. You got Simu Lee. He's kind of playing the Dick Ken, which is, you know, maybe a little true to life and stuff. So, oh my man, and Kate McKinnon. That's the only other part I'm gonna get you to pause at some point. They have the cast up there. Like they got this going on. That's so good. You got Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
You got the Goss. Pause right there. Yes, 100% Super Bad Mike. The soundtrack's going to be fucking incredible. I guarantee you. I didn't even see this. Emerald Fennell's in it. Oh my God. She's the director of Promising Young Woman. She's going to be acting this. That's great. John Cena got confirmed today. I just hope he plays a big fucking Ken. Like, I hope he's just like a Jack Ken. I don't know. Taylor, your favorite, Scott Evans. Did you see that? Scott Evans is in there.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know
know-
Helen Mirren was in this either.
She's the narrator.
Is she the narrator? I didn't
yeah.
even know that. And then you got Emma McKay, who is like, it's so funny that now in Babylon you had Margot Robbie do a movie that featured Samara Weaving, and then you got Emma McKay, who's like, all three of them look identical, and now Margot Robbie's in a movie with her. Both movies, they've made their hair dark, so it's very funny. They like specifically make sure that they look different because they look so similar. At one point, that name below or above her, that Rhea Perlman, I thought it was Ron Perlman for a second. I was like, fuck, I want to see that Ken.
He's Ken
that-
as well, yeah.
Yeah, but man, I can't wait for John Cena. And the big one for me announced this morning: Dua Lipa playing Mermaid
Oh.
Barbie. Hell yeah!
And
And original
like,
song.
S-Bubs. Yeah.
She's doing
There you go.
multiple songs. They know what they're doing. They know Dua Lipa is it right now. But yeah, it was great to kind of have a bunch of people confirmed today that weren't even announced in the casting at all, which will probably be like small roles. And Michael Cera as Adam or Alan is going to be tons of fun too. I feel like he's just can steal some scenes. So yeah, I'm ready for it.
Absolutely.
And I don't think there's anything. What happens at obviously I thought there was something at the end credits, but maybe I'm wrong here. Oh, right, what Taylor thought the whole. So
my Black Panther suit.
I'm surprised there. You literally just thought they were saying "beat you off." You thought
It's the way it sounded. Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, got me.
Yeah, this got me a good time. I love their outfits, everything about it.
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera is going to be great for the moments he's in there. Like, yeah, they know what they're doing here. So very good. Now let's take our last ad break, and we'll talk about the most anticipated trailer of the night. Apparently, we'll be right back. And we're back. All right, there's not much introduction. You don't need to pull this one up. Let's talk about Hypnotic. I was fucking shocked when I pull up this trailer. I had no idea what it was about, and they purposely hadn't put out the synopsis. It's Ben Affleck with Robert Rodriguez, the great Robert Rodriguez, unless he's doing Star Wars. But this was a wild trailer. I think this looks like it has B movie written all over it. I will definitely watch this at home unless it gets a really good word of mouth, because I think it was almost like the first half of the trailer I was like, oh, I could see this being a great thriller, and then the second half of the trailer I thought, oh, this could be one of those very cheesy, like straight to DVD movie
Pope's
type
Exorcist.
of thrillers. Exactly, yeah. And like when he just was like, you're getting real hot, and he did the thing with the lighter, and then when it's just people are flying, she's taking her clothes off. I'm like,
oh yeah,
what is this? What are they cooking? What is he cooking? So it got me interested. I will check it out, but the theater thing depends on the timing, and also just like who knows what the reviews are. But I like Robert Rodriguez. I like Ben Affleck. The rest of the cast is good too, so I'll be there. It was just a wild trailer. It's just not what I expected, I guess.
I was extremely shocked. I feel like just knowing that we're getting all these trailers to be thrown in front of Super Mario, and then I
don't think
threw
this
on
one will
trailer,
be.
And I was just like, oh, this doesn't fit at all. And it's initially too when like the armored cars like approaching, you got Ben Affleck early parts of the oh my gosh trailer just kind of representing that he's like a cop or something that's had some hard times. Now he just wants to focus on his job.
Lost his daughter.
I'm like, man, this is like The Town, but he's on the cop the cop side now, just with the heist and whatnot. But yeah, it went into a direction almost like Now You See Me with like the magician type aspect of just this hip. Did they call him the Hypnotic or whatever? It's not like a hypnosis thing. It's something different, wasn't it?
I thought it was a hypnosis thing because
Was it?
they
Okay.
show him
It's
like doing
hypnosis.
sounds and everything like
They
that.
just gave him like a different term that I wasn't familiar with. But nonetheless, I probably will see this on like Netflix at some point,
Yes,
very
yeah.
randomly one evening, and be like, "Oh, this was that movie that we were kind of talking about." And no, I didn't hear anyone talk about it because nobody saw it. But maybe I'm wrong there, and maybe it'll be big word of mouth on the Discord, hopefully. But yeah, I'm not itching to go see this one. It was
Feels
like
very
a movie.
2000s.
Yeah, it was like a movie I'd seen from the 2000s, but now he's got this hypnosis thing that's like makes it a little bit different. I chose my words carefully there. I wasn't going to say interesting. It's just it makes it seem different. Yeah, I don't know. This is my lowest one of the night.
No, really. The reason though that it is playing is because Air also comes out this week, so they're going to play this trailer in front of that.
Oh,
'cause
there
if
you
you've seen
go.
a Ben Affleck movie, that's why it's happening and
That's
stuff
how they
like
get
that. So
you.
yeah, so that's smart. If you're an Affleck fan, he's having a good year. He has Flash coming out. Fucking Air just came out, and 99% on Rotten Tomatoes got big reviews and stuff like that. So, the Inception straight to DVD sequel.
Yeah, there's a couple
a-
shots in there that looked like
Yeah.
when the building's coming out of nowhere.
No, this is
Definitely
real.
some inspiration, you could say. I don't think I have much to add beyond you guys. I think the villain being this kind of Kilgrave sort of thing, like that's cool.
Yes,
I'm down for that.
100%, yeah.
Obviously, that's just like a fun thing like to overcome for a hero. Obviously, that means he can do some pretty crazy stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out. Not hopeful for this one, but maybe I'm bored one day and it's their top of the new releases or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'll be pushed to check it out.
And maybe go to word of mouth, right? Maybe there's something like once everyone sees like, oh no, this is a really good like sci-fi type of thriller. You know, like there's some good because I feel like they're trying to do that in the middle of the trailer. Show like I feel like they're trying to insinuate there's gonna be lots of twists and turns and reveals because they're doing the whole like how am I connected to all this? Because he finds like he says that he just that's why I am interested in as far as his daughter goes missing. Clearly there's like a time jump and he's getting involved with these hypnotic people. And he finds a picture of his daughter at their like bank or something like that. So it's like okay, what is the situation? So and I like that shot too when the jail cells were dark and his partner was just walking down with the gun and they're doing like the Jerry stop like I don't know there's some stuff in there that I was enjoying, but what about you, Taylor?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting really what was going on because I'm following along. I was like, okay, like there's some daughter stuff going on here, and he's like watching him. He's like, look, that guy on the bench, and the guy's just just flicks his little light, and then it's like, oh fuck, okay. I've seen hypnosis like in the flesh. I remember my sister was up on stage and she got fucked up there, so.
Brought her bin of Barbies, her big bin of Barbies.
What can you clarify? What happened to her, please?
She got lit on fire and jumped in front of a bus.
It's hot out here, isn't it?
Taylor's just in the crowd. Is this part of the show?
Man, it hates to be. It
Very
sucks
immersive experience.
sucks being stabbed, eh? Just like,
Little theater.
yeah.
Oh, it's just the classics where they make you like you don't know what you're doing and they make you do things to certain triggers and stuff like that. It's super crazy. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like to see a movie like this that kind of expands off of it. I think it's cool because you're right. Like Now You See Me, that definitely touches upon it with what's this pickle?
Jesse Eisenberg?
Oh no, the other one.
Morgan Freeman? Woody Harrelson?
Woody Harrelson, thank you.
Mark Ruffalo.
So he's not Mark Ruffalo. Well, yeah, Mark Ruffalo actually. Yeah, Woody Harrelson. He's the guy that kind of like handles all that kind of like hypnosis stuff. So seeing that in here with just everything of Ben Affleck's going through, I like the whole like what's real, what's not. Like Ben Affleck's just getting fucked up, like his like sister did on stage.
Hypnosis will
So that's
fuck
the
you up.
comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Was your sister seeing gigantic buildings coming at her?
Not that I remember, but yeah. I
Saw Taylor coming up to her. Taylor, no.
It's warm out here, isn't it?
I am looking forward to this. I don't know if I will, see it like immediately, but it's on the watch list.
There you go. Perfect. Hypnotic coming at some point. Robert Rodriguez, Ben Affleck. There you go. And William Fletcher. Give William Fletcher some credit. Talking about Heat earlier. It's great in Heat. Great in The Dark Knight. Yeah, I'm going to rattle these off to end this episode. So there's 3 things that happened this week. Taylor. Oh, I thought Kirkland's like, me first.
Sorry.
Didn't I
Disruption.
Tay, I'm gonna let you go this week. So this one's still heavily rumored, but it's coming from big sources like A-tier scooping. So it's happening with the Harry Potter show happening to HBO. Ding. A live action Moana happening with the cast coming back, including The Rock. And then you have Shrek 5, which is happening. In the article, they're like, the cast is really excited to return. It's like, yeah, because they're getting a fucking big paycheck, I imagine. Like, do I think Eddie Murphy's sitting around being like, oh, I hope they make another Shrek. I want to keep that
He's waiting by
performance
the
again.
phone.
Yeah, even though they did say in this article that there's actually talk about doing a Donkey spinoff as well. So we'll see. So Taylor, those 3 things. Give me your rapid fire thoughts on them.
The Harry Potter thing, I think is interesting. I told Madison that, and Madison's first instinct is no, just no. She doesn't want it. I
Get
said,
outta
you know what?
here.
It's gonna be like one book.
She's
per
gonna be
season.
watching it though. She's gonna be
She'll
watching,
be watching it. Sure.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
A lot of people.
That's
are
what
going
all
to be
these people
watching
say.
And
There's too many big IP movies. There's not enough original movies. Click Harry Potter. I'll watch it again.
I reiterated what they were stating, how one book is a season, and how we
Yes.
can't explore all that. But again, I do feel like personally maybe exploring a full like seasonal year of school is easier to do in a movie than it is over a TV show, because a TV show you have like, well, then again, HBO Max is pretty good at doing
You
this.
got 8
where we have time-
hours. House of Dragons,
For a-
we jumped like 10 years in House
I
of
know.
Dragons.
So they'll probably pull it off, I guess, decent. But again, at times it has to be done right. It's got to be done like very, very right, because again, when you look at like Last of Us, I guess skipped over like a couple weeks, right? Or did they do months?
Months.
They did months. Okay. Then HBO's done that with 2 different IPs, so I put my faith in them wholeheartedly then. But I took to
Big
online 'cause
180.
I was curious. So I'll just reel these off real quick. So again, there's the whole the announcement of this and all that of the Harry Potter shows. And I was looking at the comments, and I got the first one here.
Don't do that.
Ain't
Don't
a
do
single
that.
person. Ain't a single person asking for this. Next one. Wingardium, absolutely the fuck not.
I was asking for it, so
I
you're
love
wrong.
when
When it-
people, speak of the
Yeah.
ultimatants.
Yeah.
No, not a single
No
person
one,
wants this.
No one
I
wants
guess
this.
better.
I do. Your theory's broken. Done. 1 person in 7 billion wants it.
We
Over.
got why though. Imagine how tired we are. We don't want to.
We are
How dare you
tired.
stand where he stood? Just all these random comments. Like, what am I
I'm not
talking about?
tired because of Harry Potter. Fuck. I'm tired for other reasons.
We don't want or need this. Absolutely
You don't
thrilled
need
to
anything.
not watch
you don't need
this.
anything. Yeah.
I got what? Hate this. Give us a continuation. Nope. I'm begging y'all to let new stories be written.
And these are all comments from Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's.
Oh,
trying to
no,
decide
from
which one to
Madison.
post.
She went on all her different YouTube accounts.
Yeah.
She was hypnotized.
There's literally no reason to remake these. What are they doing? And my personal favorite.
There is a reason. There is a reason.
This is my personal. He did 2 comments. Man, fuck all that. Where is Lovecraft Country? Make it make sense on why it's canceled. They canceled Lovecraft Country for this shit. Make it make sense.
Big Lovecraft fan.
Oh, that one.
I heard it was a great show. Yeah, but
Yeah. Good performance.
yeah. Of course, Eddie Murphy says they should have done a solo Donkey movie instead of Puss in Boots because he would have got paid more. Fuck, of course. Eddie Murphy's like, yeah, why didn't they do that?
I don't know.
And that's
Last
what-
Wish was pretty good.
Last Wish was great. Yeah,
All
will we get a Moana edition for Tropical Punch Zoa? I better fucking hope so. If The Rock's this fucking selfish promoting
Saltwater
promoting
flavor.
machine too.
He had his kids in his promo today. Do you see his
Oh, yeah.
Instagram
He has
video?
kids.
Getting
did,
desperate.
yeah.
Black Adam shook that man to his core.
Well, I think he knew the Blue Beetle trailer was dropping, so like I gotta come up and count the gates.
My new
Fuck
Zoa
yeah.
flavor, Blue Beetle.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. It's
What are you?
a live action Moana film. I never really thought I'd see the day, but I guess
What?
that day is coming.
You
I
didn't
never
think
thought I'd see
Disney
the
was
day.
going to remake a film?
Not
It's
this
just
quick.
so,
It's
so
I felt like
new.
it would be a little bit more
Fuck
buffer.
new IP. It's all about remakes.
Where's
That's
Lovecraft?
What The Rock said. He went into that studio. Fuck new IP. It's all about the remakes.
But
am
like
I right?
you and there Disney's like, yeah, you're right. But like if
My
you
new
are,
Zoa flavor. Fuck new IP.
if you want to do it with The Rock though, you got to do it now because as I said, that man's heart's going to explode any day now. Any day with these
he's on the
Zoas
ropes
and how
for sure.
how big he is. I don't want that to happen. I still love
He's
The
got to
Rock
get bigger.
despite-
Do you see how big his character is in that movie?
I gotta start taking steroids.
Start? He's going to start?
Just gotta up the dosage.
Oh man, yeah, just how big Maui is. Like, Taylor, are they gonna put that wig on him?
Oh yeah, they're
Oh
going to.
yeah.
It's gone. He's George Lopez wig or something. The beard. I don't know what they'll get up to, but they're putting something on him.
That was the Rock's account. He's a big country fan. Also, before we move on, you didn't say where
It's like
you
a
gave.
verified account too. Dwayne Johnson, like
Yeah,
check mark and everything.
The gold check mark.
Hey, do Black Adam 2 while you're at it.
Nobody's asking for this.
Everyone's asking for the most critically fan, 98% approval, Black Adam. You didn't say yay, nay. Half about the Potter news. You just told Madison's perspective. What's yours?
I would pass it. But it's again, it's a very.
What do
it's
you
a
mean you
very,
would pass it? Like you
it's a
wouldn't watch
reluctant-
it, or you would pass?
It's
like,
it's a
you'd give it
reluctant pass. Like let's do it because I'm totally content with what we have, and I would be down to explore that world in a better written way than what Fantastic Beasts was, but explore different avenues. Because again, like there's when we get those flashbacks in the movies about like Tom Riddle going to school, stuff like that. I think there's still cool different avenues you can explore on that route. So. Yeah, again, but we're just gonna go with what we know is safe and secure, which is the Harry Potter route, because we got source material for that. Obviously, J.K. is attached to this, not as a showrunner, I
Yeah.
don't believe, but still, she wants it to be true to the source
The
material.
integrity of the books. Yeah, that's what she said. I hope she's like, obviously that's a bad can of worms we talked about many times, but I also just hope she's not fucking writing anything for that show. Just like not just say, yeah, that's like the books, but my worry is we're gonna get a couple written by J.K. episodes, and I know people are like, oh, but she's writing those books. I get it. It's just she's shown she can't write movie like screenplays. That's just you can't. They are different type of writing, and it just didn't work out. So. And then finally, what the fuck was the other thing? Oh yeah, Shrek 5. I know you're hyped for that.
I do like Shrek, yeah. It'll be interesting to see if they pursue that kind of humor that the first couple films had. I think that's that's one of the things. I think that humor is what really made Shrek.
No beach off jokes in that one.
No, like that first Shrek is comedic gold. It's so good. Like Lord Farquaad is just. Fuck, he's funny. There's some great one-liners in that movie.
I'd argue that's not the best Shrek movie, though.
Shrek 2 is my favorite.
There you go. Good boy.
Yeah.
Well,
You like
now
that's your favorite?
do you mean just specifically
is.
Shrek, or do you mean specifically Shrek or the universe?
Just Shrek.
Now
Just Shrek.
Okay. I was gonna say now I say Last Witch, Puss in Boots. Like I think that's the top tier in the Shrek universe, but just Shrek, yeah, Shrek 2. You're right there. No one
Yeah.
says Shrek 4.
No one Forever After, yeah. No one's really calling that out. And again, that one, you can see it there. It's a perfect example. The level of humor, it's immensely toned down from what those first two were. The three had it, but it was definitely kind of simmering up a little bit more so. But I hope that they have the guts to just kind of give us that like crazy Shrek 1 humor again in this, because when you play off of that adult humor in a kid way that is so woven into the fabric of fairy tale stories, I think you could have so much fun with that. As we've seen with those first two Shrek movies, they were potent for that. So
I think he's overcompensating. I can't even say it.
Overcompensating
for
for something.
and he even gets aroused in his bed too when he's watching the princesses on the mirror. Remember?
Well, I think he's interested, not aroused. He's not
Lord
sitting there fucking
Farquaad.
hard on her.
beaching off.
He's beaching, Kirklin, not beating.
That's what I said. I said beach.
Okay, so see,
PG
you
episode.
can't hear it. Yeah, that's what we do here at GeekVerse. Dylan, Harry Potter, Shrek 5, Moana.
Moana, no comment. Shrek
'Kay.
5, sure. Harry Potter, yeah, I just feel like there's such a low chance that it's good. So yeah, I'm not really excited about that. I don't know if I'd watch it. I'd have to see who's really involved. If JK's doing any sort of writing, then yeah, I'm out. No thanks, boss. I'll take a big skip on that. So, yeah, none of these none of these really get me too hyped, I guess.
What I do want to do, if we start to go forward, I do want to do a fan cast draft for obviously the kids. We're just gonna pick a bunch of no names, but I want to do like Snape, Dumbledore, everything like that. I want to do a episode casting all those characters, because like I said, the kids, we're gonna get a bunch of no name British people, but Adam Driver, Snape. Well, actually, we'll see, because they've in the past that was the rule with the first series, was they could only cast British actors. So I guarantee it's gonna be that way again. But there's tons of British actors, so we're definitely going to do that draft at some point. That'll be a fun one. But Kirklin, how's this news hitting you?
So starting with, I guess Shrek. That's that one.
I'm in love.
Oh, fire soundtrack.
Accidentally
Yeah,
in love.
after Puss in Boots, Shay and I went through all the Shreks again. 'Cause
shits.
all the shits, all the Shreks again, because
After he gives
it
the
had been a hot
shits.
minute, and I was like, I don't even think I had seen the fourth. I am
Shrek
all
the
over the board
fourth.
today. Thank you. Thank you,
I
Travis. Just
Shits.
speak for me. So,
I love the
but
Barbie
like
trailer.
after watching it, and especially like The Last Wish, I'm not done with that universe. Although like the quality of the movies might go down in some people's eyes, like mine. I still want just more of that universe, because just like the jokes that they play off of like it's not a Disney thing, but there's a lot of like Disney type humor and like references, and that's that like that. Those movies still make me laugh out loud, even into like the 3 and 4. The 4 has a couple jokes that definitely got me, not quite to the extent that 2 or 1 did, but I really really like that universe. So I'm super pumped, especially if it's all the same cast coming back. So that's sweet. Moana. Yeah, that was a surprise for sure. I don't know about a welcome one.
A surprise
I've
for sure, but
only-
not a welcome one.
I think I've only liked one live action Disney remake that they've done, and that was Aladdin. Haven't seen them all, so I can't say that all of them are bad. But yeah, I quite liked Aladdin, but I didn't have much that really made me want to go see the other ones. I did see The Jungle Book, and I feel like I don't have a lot of nostalgia for it, so maybe that didn't help at all. But yeah, I just don't have a lot of attachment for these adaptations to live action for these Disney products, which I love the base material, and I think I'm just able to kind of leave it at that unless this is just either everybody praises it and says it's amazing, or everybody says it's so bad that you got to see it. I feel like they could go in that direction, but I don't know. I feel like the Disney products don't really go in that direction where it's so bad it's good. It's would probably just fall to be pretty mid.
I think Rock as live action Maui has a good chance of that, though. I think it goes one of two ways: of he is electric and he's great, and everyone says, "Oh, he did it, he brought it to life," because I'm just thinking that first image we get of him with the hair. If they do the hair, there's a lot to it that I think could be very comedic, in my opinion, of just seeing The Rock trying to promote a movie where all over he has this big fucking hair.
Also, you just have the hair like permanently too, like for the
No,
promo. He's just wearing it like in day to day.
red carpet.
I grew my hair out for this.
Yeah, I have a Zoa hair grower out now. It's fantastic. He like tries to play it off like it's his real hair. Like he's
I want that.
I could always grow this. He's just like, oh fuck, man.
The Zoa hair
Shave it
grower.
every day.
Yeah, the hair grower.
So yeah, I'm curious, but not really itching for that one. And then for the Harry Potter thing, I feel like ever since you pitched that idea, Travis, I might have been reluctant initially, but now that I'm stewing on it, there you go.
Kirklin said, "Fuck you, Travis. Don't talk about that yet."
Get that shit out of here. That's never gonna happen.
I ain't
But
passing that.
I actually really like the idea. I think especially having a season for a year, I think that's awesome. And lately HBO hasn't really disappointed me in their projects. So yeah, I have a lot of just faith like with them doing the projects, and like although like the original Harry Potters probably won't be able to be beat because I just have so much nostalgia, especially just like growing up in that era of like waiting for those movies to come out and all that stuff. I probably can't be topped, but I still think that this could hit a more than passable level, like 8 out of 10. I think if it's that or better, I think that's should be a thumbs up.
No, you talked right, Taylor. It's my turn. So go ahead.
Question for all three of you: Do you
thought I
think
was
they do
serious there for a second.
a brand new score, or do you think they let's slide that John Williams back in there?
It'd be new.
That's the tough thing.
It would be new. It'd be like the Rings of Power thing. That's my opinion. Where they have him back to do like the intro.
'Cause the music is what
Yeah.
I'd miss the most, honestly.
I honestly
It is
feel
pretty
like
iconic.
they just cop out and do it again. I feel like, I know people would say no, but I feel like you do the James Bond thing, and I know that's a little bit different, but that's the same theme all the time, right? And that's a big argument with Superman right now. And I always say with the theme, I don't care if you brought back the original, fine, whatever. So it's just tough of like, luckily it's a show and it's longer, so you don't need to have almost, I feel like, as catchy tracks as like a 2-hour movie. You can have just more score, but it's that opening. So I feel like they won't, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like Kirklin said, if they get him back for even the opening, but that's kind of tough because I think he says he's retiring after this next after Indy. So I don't think, and John Williams has had a lot of health scares, so I don't know if he'll necessarily be around. So that might be another reason why they pivot of like, you can't have him there to be like, oh, do your original music, but then do some new stuff on top of that. But even everything, like the look of Hogwarts, right? Like I know it's probably pretty similar, but it's still like, how do you make it even look a little bit different? But that's going to be the challenge. So
What do you guys think the chances are that it actually goes the length of 7 seasons and completes it?
100%.
You think they'd get the whole way through?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think the show's gonna be massive. Even if it's, I think the only way it doesn't if it is very, very bad, and I don't think they're gonna let that happen. Now I know people are gonna throw Fantastic Beasts in my face, but I feel like that is very different
I'll throw it right in your face.
they get the benefit of literally having these books that are already well liked. I just feel like even if the show, like Kirkland said, even if it's like a 7 out of 10, like that type of quality, I think the show will be massively watched. I think people are still gonna tune in. I think and like what we were talking about, like could it be better than the movies. That's a good thing. To me, I look at it as like way you have Last of Us game and Last of Us show. There is difference, but you can't really compare them the same way you're not going to be able to compare Harry Potter's Philosopher's Stone to the 8-hour version on HBO Max. Like there's going to be no way to do that. You can't, it's not a fair comparison. So I think it will go the distance. I think they'll hit it. I think because they'll get a new audience. There can be, HBO, there'll at least be a budget. There's going to be things they get to explore. And I do think they are going to get actors that are known and stuff like that. So, but yeah, no, I'm all for this. I said this is what they should do. Get ready. It's going to, especially because HBO or what is it, Warner's, they just made that deal with Embracer Group with Lord of the Rings, right? I know it's on the TV stuff, but like, get ready. If there's a way for them to do some sort of Lord of the Rings TV series, I think that's the route to go. I think this is a smart idea, adapt to the books. All these books, people always would say, hey, they left this out. Well, here's your chance. You're going to get all that's different. Casting is key, and I feel bad for those kids because those kids are going to have a lot of pressure to be like the next Ron, Hermione, and Harry. The adults, not so much, because I feel like you'll be able to find great actors, great British actors, like, oh, Benedict Cumberbatch is Dumbledore, and people are like, oh my god, that's fantastic. Like, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like the adults I'm not so worried about. But they did do a good job of casting Ellie, so hopefully it'll all pan out. So
I was gonna say too, they did a great job of casting the original trio, and I feel like the quality of child actors is just on a whole nother level than even what it was then. So I have faith.
yeah, like I hate to say it, but like I feel like someone like Belle Ramsey at this age is a better actress than Daniel Radcliffe, all of them at their current ages. Like that's no disrespect, but like I feel like there's kid actors now that have different levels, so that's a good thing. It's just a lot of pressure as far as that's like the movies were a lot, but the shows, that's 7 versions of that, but now 8 hours. That's a lot of time. And I'm very curious too. They're gonna have to lock these people down because they're gonna have to shoot this back to back, just like the Harry Potter movies. Because what was it?
Much longer, time to shoot these things too, with it being
100%, a lot more aging.
So that's why I think they'll have to go like very young, so that they have the years to go
and
with
maybe
them.
Some back-to-back shooting too, maybe, which could be
maybe
tough on the kids. But yeah, I have faith in them. Yes, all the JK stuff sucks. I wish she wasn't part of it, but she's going to hold a deaf grip on that franchise till she dies, and you just kind of have to deal with it. So, and enough of the mainstream people, they won't tune into that stuff. They'll just tune into, it's a Harry Potter show, and they'll see it. Moana, to me, I don't know. It sucks that there's these rumors going around that they were going to make Moana 2, and they squashed it for this. But I get it as far as 2 reasons. One, everyone says, why so soon? Like we talked about, if you want to get The Rock, you got to get him now. Like he might not even be in the shape forever, right? Which I'm sure he wants to be. And the other reason is too, I feel like Lightyear just scared the shit out of them. That to me was a spin-off of their most popular animated thing. The last 2 movies made over $1 billion. Like Toy Story is iconic. It built Pixar, that house. You put out Lightyear and the movie made just like $200 million. I think that scared the fuck out of them. So when they went, hey, Moana 2 or a live action Moana, I think they went right away, okay, Moana. Now we'll see a Little Mermaid does in a couple months because of that kind of bombs. Maybe they'll be like, shit, now everything is. But I feel like Little Mermaid will do well. So sure, I'm for it. It's Logan's favorite Disney movie. So it'll be interesting the time it comes out at her age and to see what it's going to be like to do like a live action version of that. So we'll see. And then Shrek 5, I think it was just inevitable. I love that you got that little tease in Puss in Boots that they're going back there, but I'm just kind of happy the Shrek universe is back, because that to me is a very, very underrated cinematic universe. You look at it, the things they did, the sequels, Puss in Boots. So I'm very excited. I don't know if I necessarily need a donkey spinoff, but if it's good, if they can find a way, sure, great. But I'm ready to get back in that world, and I want to see the pitch now, because I imagine they had those kids, so I imagine they'll have all those ogre kids that are older and stuff like that. So.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll see. And then that's what I was saying. Well, for Percy Jackson TV show, that actor already looks older when they started filming. It does, but they were doing at least the thing of they're starting to already film season 2. So I think that's what they'll have to do. But who knows? Maybe they'll just make the school years longer. I don't know. Or maybe that's what they'll change up, is they'll change the age of when Harry goes there. Because I feel like what was Radcliffe? He was
11.
10. He was 11, so maybe they'll try and even change. You can't do that though, because there's certain child. That's the only problem, is there's certain child labor laws, and they can only act for a certain amount of time at a certain age. So you can only go so young, because you can't have a kid on set for
damn labor laws.
Yeah, let's just deep fake a kid.
Yeah,
let's just deep fake a kid. And I do believe I do believe those rumors that they were trying to do Cursed Child 2. And again, talking about JK, you look at Daniel Radcliffe, all this month he's been doing lots of work with trans charities. He's been doing lots of showcases, whatnot. I think those rumors are true, that was the thing that they were trying to get Radcliffe and he wouldn't do it. And I think this is the pivot to that, because they can't do prequels. Beast scared them off. They're not going to do anything else in the world because there's no books. So you just have to do Harry Potter. You can't redo the movies because that's too similar. You can't do Cursed Child because Daniel Radcliffe said no. We don't know about Watson. Grant said he was all aboard, but I think Radcliffe just doesn't want to go back to that. So I think this is the step there. So and lastly, to end us off, I think Little Mermaid will scare them off too. A lot of negative feedback on the trailer. Yeah, but that's where I feel like we're in a bubble. We'll have to see, but I don't think the GA is going to care about the trailers. I think they're just going to see, like, Lion King was $1 billion, Aladdin was $1 billion. True, these are all movies that happen pre-pandemic, and Mulan got like a weird like Disney Plus release, but we'll see. Donkey Solo versus Don Khan Solo movie battle back. So box office battle. I think Don Khan got set. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this episode. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be back very soon, tomorrow with Mario. Thank you very much.
Yeah, have a good one.
Bye.